All right, I almost forgot how to podcast for a quick second. Wait, give me a second. Let me unmute this asshole. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? All right, anyway, let me unmute Vince. It's been a while, man. Do this thing. Vince is there. He can't hear me. I need to unmute. Boom, and then. The fuck is
Yeah. By the way, you're definitely muted in Discord still.
Oh no, I know. I was looking for the button to unmute. All right, can you?
Now I can. Perfect. Now I can mute the stream. Now I had like 10 different things going at once. It's pretty tight.
Anyway, welcome everyone. It's episode 122. It's been a really long time, and I always get I'm always surprised how many episodes we actually been through. I never thought we would make it past like 2 or 10, but
yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, you know.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, so there's a lot to talk about. You guys came through the questions like always. Actually, I'm gonna stand at a lot to talk about. I have no idea what we're gonna talk about, but I told Vince, I'm telling him now that we're going to wing it. We always wing it. And I'm pretty sure it'll snowball into something terrible. And of course, you guys with the questions. But what I want to talk about before we start, anyway, Vince, how are you doing, man? Yeah.
You know.
But anyway, Vince, how are we doing today, brother?
Not too bad. It's kind of a strange start to the day, but you know, it's a strange end to the day too, because we're doing the podcast and there's a helicopter outside. It's been flying around for the past 40 minutes that woke me up from my nap, my FAP nap. So yeah, weird day, but I'm doing good.
Has the helicopter like announced anything, or is it just quietly flying around?
They've been looking for the same white guy wearing a red shirt and blue pants for like the 40 minutes. So yeah, they're doing it big.
I haven't heard one of those in the neighborhood in a while. It's been a while, man. Those used to go off like crazy. Oh no, Vince turned into a robot. Wait, am I dropping frames? Is it already happening? No, it's not good. Anyway, but yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. So white people, yes, Kadar. All right. Will, how you doing,
looking for a Mario. Looking for a small plumber.
So yeah, okay. So let's just get into it. So what I want to talk about today is the Guilty Gear Strive beta, and talk about Guilty Gear in general. And you know, we all heard the news, it got pushed back, and so I hear a lot of topics. If you were I want to say it was last Saturday, I know Vince did his own little rundown about what he thought about the beta, so I would like to use that and just add some shit on there. So before I start off, I guess the first question, Vince, is for the people who didn't watch your little Vince cast, what do you think of the beta that we got to play? Because you got to play the first beta, and I didn't touch. I just watched you play it, and that shit was pretty funny.
That first beta was, it was a mess.
So I want you to tell us how you feel about this beta that came out compared to the first beta, and yeah, take it away, man.
You know, first things first, the main purpose of the beta, you know, what they said for the first beta that didn't get accomplished because nobody could actually play because it was horrible, was to test the it was supposed to test the netcode and test the servers, things like that. And it's the first time that we got to play on the new rollback netcode, because the first beta that was 9 months ago was their delay-based netcode, and that shit was trash. It didn't work. You couldn't connect to anybody. It was basically impossible to play anybody. The only thing that was available was like quick matches in the really shitty lobby and versus computers. So it was basically like a waste of time. Second beta comes out. It's the lobbies are in, training mode's in, all kinds of cool shit is in, and it played pretty damn good, man. The netcode was very good. The lobbies were another story, though. The lobbies were terrible, and some of the problems in the first beta were still in the beta that we played last time. So it was kind of hit and miss on a lot of things, but the main purpose was to test the netcode. The netcode's fantastic.
That's good to hear. So for someone like myself that didn't play the beta, the first one, and maybe someone else, so what are some of the glitches that were still in this beta that were in the last one?
You know, some of the weird shit, like canceling the Flawless Defense into dash and warping across the screen, that was still in. There's weird damage scaling stuff. None of the infinites and stuff were in the first beta. If you don't know, there was obviously Giovanna was not playable in the first beta, but she had an infinite. Soul had a dash cancel infinite that's probably going to get patched out. Zato had an infinite eddy meter glitch. Just a lot of shit like that. There was really strange things that were in the first beta that were also in the second beta, and even more shit. So At least it was playable, though. I mean, it was a great experience. I could actually play. I had a good time. The game's a lot of fun, but yeah, it probably needs some more time to.
Yeah,
It probably needs more time to cook.
I would feel like Oh no, we'll talk about that next. If you were to change anything in the beta, so I'm assuming that you filled the survey out, right?
I had to do it twice actually,
Yeah.
but yeah, I filled out the survey.
I feel like it's a good thing that I really feel like they actually took their time and at least read. Not I mean, well, as a team and a group and as a company, they had to look at some of the surveys, or probably just like the main players or something, or a good amount. I don't know. And I'm guessing that they had to see something, like they say, all right, this is the problem. This is what we see here, in order for them to delay the game for like another month or two. But if you were to change anything, I mean, it might sound like a broken record because I know we all hear it, but I would like to hear it from you and from the people that might not know, or the people that don't know what the fuck's going on. So, if you were to change anything from can't talk right now. If you were to change something in the game from what you saw in the beta or whatever, like what would you want the team to change?
Number one thing, you said it, I've said it, the whole world's saying it. The lobby system needs a complete overhaul. It's not functional the way it is now. It's a pain in the ass for us to play in. If you don't know how it works, I will explain it to you. You have a little 2D avatar guy that runs around, and you go to specific parts of the screen and you pull a sword out, and they have to walk up and challenge you from there. And it just didn't work. If you hit the wrong thing, you get disconnected. Just like a ton of shit like that. Sure, that's a really bad experience for us as players, but the real problem that I see is there is no offline tournaments for this game for the foreseeable future. And can you imagine trying to run an online event in that type of environment? It would pretty much be impossible. Tournaments would take like 3 to 4 hours for like an 8-man bracket. That shit's like not feasible. So if the one thing that absolutely needs to change is the lobby system needs some kind of overhaul. It doesn't have to be completely different, but there's got to be visible spots on the screen where you have to queue up. There has to not be any downtime. It has to connect flawlessly. You shouldn't have to walk to somebody and then challenge them. There has to be a better way to do it. Those are the things that have to change, I think, in for the final game.
All right, so
R code vortex, you don't even get me started. If you click the wrong thing and you get put in R code jail, that's like at least 3 minutes that you're just gonna be stuck looking at that, and like that shit it's just non-functioning. It's not working. It didn't work the first beta, and it was barely improved for the second beta.
Do you think that the reason why this the delay is happening because of the lobbies, and do you think that 2 months or the extra time they're giving themselves is enough time to erase everything and make a whole new lobby?
I'm willing to imagine that most of the delay is because of the lobbies, because I seriously cannot imagine that there isn't a person out there that didn't fill the survey out, that didn't put very bad instantly on online lobby every single time. I don't think anybody liked it. So you have to see the feedback and say, okay, obviously this does not work. We had an idea in our heads and this shit just didn't happen. So there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, we want it to be rebalanced because, it's a fucking mess, right? Like there's shit that's insane. If Axel does a command grab and you try to block in the air, you would fall through the ground, and basically the match is over at that point. If you tried to grab somebody during a dust when they're flying in the air, they would fly off the screen and you can't play anymore. Sure, obviously those things are going to get fixed, and people are bitching about the balance and stuff. I bet it's going to be way different, but I think the delay is 100% to do something with the lobbies, something with the online stability, because we know the netcode's good, but it's just those few things that are kind of holding it back, and that's going to be the only way to play. And if that doesn't work, then yeah, it's basically a failure.
So, but do you believe that you think 2 months is let's say if we like they have to do it, you think 2 months is enough time to wipe the lobby they have now and make a complete functioning one? I'm pretty sure.
I don't.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just don't think it's that far off from being workable. It's just those things. The queuing up needs to get changed for sure. There needs to be some kind of rematch. There has to be an easier way to find people. Those things, I can't imagine you have to overhaul the whole system to do that, because there's specific places in the lobby that you already have to queue up, but they're just invisible. Like, why couldn't those just be cabinets like they were before? I can't imagine it's going to require like huge, drastic sweeping changes. Sure, they suck and they look stupid, but they're mostly functional. So I don't think it would take that much to make it work.
I feel like there probably is like, somewhere in the computer, there's a copy and paste folder that, I mean, Zerd, like what Kadar said, Zerd and like Grand Blue had all like, the same layout. So I'm pretty sure that they could somehow implement
anything but Grand Blue's lobbies. That shit, I think I still think Grand Blue's lobbies are worse.
Wasn't
because for different reasons though.
Well, I mean, I didn't play Grand Blue, and I know all I hear is like the cursed the net goes bad. But isn't the Grand Blue and the Zerd lobbies the same as in the layout? Like they have the arcade cabinets, and you just walk up to them, or is it different?
They're pretty much the same, but the music is 1000% worse.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like it's
I'm not-
it's a fucking
yeah,
chore to be in
I'll-
those lobbies. It's awful. It's just the worst experience.
I'm not gonna talk. Well, I mean, I don't give a fuck about the music and everything. But it's just the same layout for Zerd and Grand Blue, and is Dragon Ball's like that too? No, like where you just walk around and challenge people.
Yeah, but that actually like it works. You know, it's not as bad as it would seem.
The Dragon Ball one.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And yes, Dre, there's definitely private lobbies, but the problem is we have no idea what they look like because they weren't available for us. They're supposed to be private 9-man lobbies, but if they work the same way as the regular lobbies do, then that means they don't work. And if they work differently than the way that the online lobbies for ranked and the park work, then why can't the park and ranked work the same way that the online private lobbies do? If they're better, then why would you separate them in the first place? It's just like little things like that just don't make sense.
I also feel like as a team, I feel like if people depend on like the private lobbies and no one's playing the lobbies that they attended, like they failed. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, absolutely. It's like we know that people don't play ranked. We know that people don't do all this shit. That's the whole reason for these lobbies being visible. That's the reason why they were the way they were in Dragon Ball, to show that people are actually playing the game. But if everybody's jumping in private lobbies, then that means what was the whole point?
That's what I'm saying too. So, is like, I mean, if everyone's jumping in private lobbies, then some people might see it as no one's playing the game. You know, they can't see anyone playing, and no one's playing it. And obviously, people are playing the game, but you know, as a team, I would feel like they failed because no one's using what they put out there. And also, I feel like I said, I want them to change the lobbies, but like another way I was looking at it too was like I feel like if the lobbies. I want to say yes, they're taking these 2 months. Like I said, we don't want like another Cyberpunk, unfortunately, because like that's like it's so sad. Like I really that game is like good. That game could have been like
I've had so much fun watching people play that game. That's all I can say.
It's so sad when I say like I enjoy that game so much, but I can't beat it because they're not going to update the PS4 and it keeps crashing at a certain part of the game. And I know for sure like that game wasn't meant for like, you know, the PS4 and the, you know what I mean? But like if they would have just put time in it, but I know they kept delaying it and they pretty much lied and they should all probably like go to jail. But if that game would have seriously like came out, like, I don't know, it could have been a game, man. Like it's like the story. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but that game, like the story, Keanu Reeves' character was like, it was just a really cool story, man, and a cool game, but it's just, you know, they got rushed. So, and there are, you know, Twitter yesterday when they announced that there's the delay, you know, everyone's gonna have their like, you know, I'm mad or like on me. I can honestly care less, man. I thought it was only for like 1 month, but I didn't realize for some reason I thought it was like
it's gonna be 2 months.
Yeah, no, like that's what I said. I was like, oh, it's just June. That's like, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about May. You know what I mean? I was like, oh fuck, all right. But I mean,
anybody that actually cares about fighting games should be stoked about this delay.
They should be stoked because
you cannot release a product with like mediocre shit this day and age because this is all we got, and there are so many things that have so much care put into them with this game that it not being playable and suffering the same fate as like Grand Blue and stuff. That's like that would be terrible. And you should be happy with any kind of delay that they're gonna do.
And you know for damn sure when that game is out, I mean it's still gonna be a mess as character wise too. You know what I mean? Like there's no like everyone.
You will not balance this game. There hasn't been a single vanilla version of a fighting game that I've ever played that has ever been like playable. Perfect, it's just not gonna happen.
It's it's like that's what I want to. That's exactly right because I feel like there are people that are thinking like, oh, they're gonna change. It's like no, like people are talking like. I guess the next topic I would get in. Well, let's finish the lobby. Yeah, so. We'll get into I know what I want to talk about next, but no, I mean, yeah, so 2 months, they're fixing shit, but I really do hope they change or fix the lobbies. But I was thinking too is in the mode, it's like if it ain't broke, like don't worry about it. But I know for sure, like I don't know, man, those lobbies suck, but
they're very awful. They stand out for a game that has so many things going for it. Those stand out like really bad. They're proportionally as bad as the rest of the good shit is.
Yeah, I hope like they don't see the mentality where it's like, well, it's not breaking the game. You know what I mean? Like it's not breaking the main game. So like get over it, rub some dirt on it.
That's kind of the approach that everybody thought they were going to take because they've gotten 2 betas worth of feedback, and plus, whenever they showed the lobbies off, everybody bitched about them. So this is like realistically like the 3rd time that people have told them that it's terrible, and I think enough people played during the open beta that now you just can't ignore it. Like it has to change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hell yeah. But for sure, I guess I don't know. I'm hoping this game does good. Like always. So what I want to talk about now, I mean, we're still on the Strive topic, is that I've been noticing on Twitter, and I am 100% a you know, I'm we're looking for. I'm guilty of this crime also too, especially, you know, being in the FGC for a long time and all these games. I personally, you know, try to support and saw fail anyway. But there's a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of big names too on Twitter, talking about how, you know, everyone's sucking the net code's dick and everything. But is this really gonna, like, you know, keep you playing the game months or years later? So pretty much what they're saying is that, yeah, it's cool that everyone's in the game or into the game, but will people still be playing it after 2 weeks, or will it be the same like 5 assholes? And I've said that millions of times for Street Fighter 5. A lot of games I've said that for. But then, you know, growing up, trying to be an adult and being a face, understanding that I am a face in the community, and, you know, you don't want to bad talk games as much as I used to. But, you know, we talk shit about Street Fighter 5, but people still play it. So we did. We failed at it. I'm just joking. No.
Yeah, you had TTF Online.
Yes, TTF
both
Online.
Still go to every time. So.
But in the end, it's just like it for me. I had a hard time with that because I'm putting money into these consoles and these games where, like, you know, I bought 2 MK12 season passes, fucking 2 MVCI season passes, SoCal 2 Sam shows, MVCI. 2 Sam Show season passes, 2 like Soul Calibur. You know what I mean? You're seeing a pattern here. I bought, you know what I mean? And in the end, I bought like, you know, 6 Street Fighter 5, and that's like one of the top games that people still play. Injustice 2, see, I bought, yeah. There was not a tournament for Injustice 2 at the house. That is so crazy.
One time I skipped it. I skipped the Injustice season pass, and I skipped the MK season passes, and I'm very glad for that.
I thought
that's just. That's a story for another time. You know, me and NRS are no longer on speaking terms at this point.
I thought we only had 1 Soul Calibur set up. We did. Oh, I had 2, but we didn't need 2 because there's only like 4 people playing that game. So I forgot where I was going to. Anyway, so I feel like Strive's gonna be good. Strive is gonna be a good game, and we're gonna talk about why I feel like Strive's gonna be a good game. And I'm really liking everyone is interested in it. It's insane how everyone is interested in it. Yep. See, I'm trying to word this nicely to not sound like an asshole, but I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna speak with my heart.
Not good people, you know that.
So I'm glad everyone's liking it, but, you know, I'm still, I always wait like the negative. I hate the negative, but it's just like I wonder how many people are gonna stick with it, and especially it's gonna be even harder for people to stick with the game since, you know, COVID. I mean, I'm not gonna break I'm not gonna open up doors just for this game, you know. I mean, everyone's like, yeah, this. So, and then, you know, what happened to Grand Blue? You know, COVID killed Grand Blue.
COVID destroyed that game, and poor decisions. That game absolutely destroyed that game. Yeah. But I mean, you know.
But I mean, but there are certain regions that keep that game alive, because every week I watch a tournament for it on Spooky Stream. You know what I mean?
You can absolutely find places to play, even despite how bad it is. But there's places to do it.
And I feel like that it also plays in our scene, because, you know, even though San Diego is such a big place for the fighting game community, I feel like I feel like our FGC is big, but we're still shattered. We're still you know, sheltered, or so. You know, I mean, there's still players that, you know, I don't know how to explain it, because, you know, I don't want to sound like a bad guy, but
we are bad guys.
I'm just really
been bad guys forever. Dude. We destroyed the Marvel scene. Never forget that.
I'm really
me and you somehow.
I'm really see you guys next Saturday for Mike's tournament.
Yeah, Mike's tournament that we're fully supporting, by the way.
No, but it's just like you know, I always tell Vince this, is that my big dream was to always, you know, have a day in the month where all the scenes came together. And the only time I really saw that we had that is when the bank was open. Just the bank. Not OFC, like when it was at the salt mines. not OFC when it was at LDL or at Megan's house at one time. The only time when I saw like all the communities actually get together was the bank, and I, you know what I mean. And I always, after the bank, died, it was like, man, I really wanted to do that, and I always wanted TTS to be that, but TTS was always the same assholes, and but I'm happy to, I was happy for that, and even I tried to push that for when LDL would have, or even when OFC was still at LDL, I really wanted that to happen, but it was just a rough, like, it was just rough times in the games, and just it's just hard to get to the people. I don't know how, I really don't know how to get to the people. I still don't, because everyone, it's just such a weird community that we live in, and it's even harder now because of COVID. And then there's a good question in I saw about that, it was that it's cool that Strive is getting people together, but would these people be, excuse me, they're in offline? And I feel that and I thought about that. I really was thinking about that when I went to the grocery store, and I was eating and watching watching some shit, and that really ate me up, because I was really thinking, and it also I was also thinking about all these man, I'm running out of breath, man. Fuck it.
Just take your time.
And I was also thinking like, there's so many of these online warriors that are killing it, man. They're fucking killing it, especially in Tekken and then in other games. But I'm just like, I've never heard of these fucking people. And the asshole, like, old school version of Cody is like, would these guys do good in like an offline tournament? Because I've never heard of these guys. Like, would they get top 8 at blah blah blah? But it's just, I want to see it happen though. And it's just like, a lot of these players I've never fucking heard of, and then they're like fucking, they're killing it, man. It's fucking awesome, man. I think it's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? And then
but the question of would they do good at all offline event basically is irrelevant right now, because there are no fucking offline events, it doesn't matter.
And sadly it doesn't matter. But like, there's like the little, like, the back of my head is just like, I want to see this guy. Like, I want to see what this guy can do, man. Like that glaciating guy. That guy's been terrorizing those Tekken
a lot of brackets. Yeah. A lot of brackets.
I haven't seen his name lately, but I mean, he's been killing it, man. I'm like, dude, I never heard of this fucking guy. Like, holy shit, man. Because you still see you still see like the Joey Furies and Shadow and all those guys, but there's like some of those names, it's like, I've never heard of this guy. This guy's killing it. Like, damn, it's crazy, man. But man, I am like worked up. Woo. But
it's a good topic. It's a good topic.
It's just that what the fuck was that? Oh yeah, so it's awesome that we have, yesterday I played in my first Glizzy, the hot dog tournament, and there was like, every time I see that bracket, there's only like 8 people for Guilty Gear, 4 people for fucking KI, and then yesterday I was like, I bought Reloaded yesterday, or Plus R yesterday, and then
okay, I think that's the one you're looking for. Reload. We gotta get a time machine and go back and get that one.
What the fuck is the game? Accent Core, right? Is it? What the fuck is that game?
Accent Core Plus R.
Plus Reload? Are you sure it's not Plus Reload? You know what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's because in the chat today when I was streaming, Josh wanted to buy the game, and then Chili Sprout was like, "Oh, you could buy it for 90 cents," and then it was Reloaded, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not the right game." Could have been mad if I didn't buy that for 90 cents. But,
for 69 cents, dude, it's a steal. Sure, I'll buy it,
man. But
yeah, Plus R, Plus Rico.
But yeah, Plus R.
Plus Richard. That's what it was. Yeah, Plus Richard.
But then there was like, but then I was like, you know what? Let me play this. I want to learn a new character. I really want to sit down and take my time to learn. Oh, I'm dropping. I think I just fucking. Is it F in the chat? Okay, I think we're still there. But I just fuck it. I want to. I have nothing to do. It's Wednesday. Fuck it. So I bought it.
Yeah, no, dude. You gotta get a dolphin emote. That's the reason to buy Reload.
Yeah, I bought it, and then like Chili Sprout was talking about it. Jed was talking about it. They entered the tournament. We entered the tournament. Kadar didn't fucking enter a free tournament because he's a fucking idiot.
Ooh, Kadar didn't enter. That's unfortunate.
And then there was like 12 people. I was like, holy, this is badass. But I only know 2 names in that bracket. That's not Chili Sprout and Jed. It's like I know Drake, and if Drake's not there, Hudson, but Hudson wasn't there, and there were like so many.
Hudson was working, I'm pretty sure.
No, Hudson was working because he was in the chat earlier watching Jed play, and we're talking, and then I'm in the Discord, and I'm like, who are these people? I'm happy. I know. I mean, I know that Skeletal Key guy, the ABBA player. I heard that name before. But besides the point, like, I don't know if these guys are serious or if these guys are trolling. Because like one guy was like, I don't like playing on stream because you guys are biased, blah blah blah. And then I'm on my chat.
That was a bit surprising. I've never seen that before.
I don't know if that guy was being. I don't know if that guy was being real, so I was kind of making fun of him in my chat. And then Drake was like, I don't even know who that guy is.
No, like, none of us did. No. You're not wrong. That's not typical, by the way. That's a kind of a new thing. And
then Drake pretty much said, yeah, I really don't know anyone in bracket except for so and so. So it's one of those things, like, it's like, dude, are these people even from San Diego? If Thursday nights at Nowhere came back and they had Guilty Gear, would these people even show up? So it's one of those things where it's like, what do you Jason, what do you do? It's one of those things where like the TO
so you can go back in the Discord, you can take a look yourself, man. I don't remember who it was because I've never seen them before in my life. So.
Because the TO in me wants these people to come out. Like where you guys from? Come out. What can I do for you guys to come out? Dale, exactly. But then the asshole Cody, like the unprotectedSEX version of me, is like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck would you guys even come out to this? Who the fuck are like these guys don't even come out? Blah blah blah. Like, but it's just like fucking, it's crazy. So I'm hoping, like, what if? Because what I don't want, and I'm pretty sure you don't want, is people to start saying, see me online, and when offline events do happen, they don't want to play offline events, then they just want to stay online. So I don't want it to become this like stupid fucking war where it's just like, are these people really gonna be like, I mean, you support the game how you want to support it, but it's just, I feel like this might become a topic. I really feel like see me off like online is gonna actually become something seriously, in the future. Not to a lot, but I just feel like it's gonna be like a new one. Yeah, you know what I mean? And Dale, yeah, online is a sheltered place, like, because I don't know, but so I mean, what this whole rambling's coming up to is I do want Guilty Gear Strive to survive, not just in San Diego. Actually, yeah, just in San Diego, because I know it's gonna do well other places. I'm just being honest.
It's absolutely gonna do fine everywhere else. The question is whether or not it does well here, and the general reception is pretty positive from the people who have played it.
Really positive. So I'm hoping...
It's hard to not be positive about a game that actually has functional netcode, a game that's not stuck 10 plus years in the past when other games have shown you how to do correct net play. So it's a big step forward for a lot of Japanese developers kind of don't get it. So this is a good sign that they're finally getting it with the success of Plus R, with the success of KOF, getting rollback, and actually having tournaments in this day and age. They're some of the most successful ones. Is the games from the past that have gotten updated with good netcode, they're the ones that are thriving the most right now compared to just normal games.
Yeah, I can't imagine if imagine if Mr. Wizard didn't diddle those kids and EVO Online did happen. Like, I wonder what KI, MK, Skullgirls, and those fighting herds.
It's funny to talk about like how fucked up Mr. Wizard is and all that shit, but losing EVO Online was like, it was a very, very seriously. It was a horrible thing.
Games, right? Because I feel like, and I'm pretty sure
just for the scene in general, even if you don't give a fuck about those games, that was going to be the biggest open bracket event that we'd had in 1 year, basically, and it just evaporated. So it was a huge loss.
Yeah, and I also feel like it would have shown other people that the netcode, right? Like
instead Guilty Gear to pick up the pieces of that shit. What EVO Online should have done is what Guilty Gear Strive open beta did. So. We got it. It was just a lot later than it should have been.
So I'm really hoping that Guilty Gear Strive as well. I'm hoping you guys all play, and I hope I feel like it's gonna be tough, man. Because I say it all the time to people. I say it all the time because I'm just giving you, it's tough love, but I want you guys to play, and I care about you guys. It's that you gotta stick with it, man. It's not magic, dude. It's not. You're not gonna like pick up a game and like, hey, I'm fucking good at this game.
Yeah, don't be a bitch, basically.
Don't be a bitch, because I say the story all the time. It took me until like the end of Street Fighter 4 to think that I was good at the game, decent, at least decent at the game. And that's like a long time. There are already people saying that they thought I was good at the game, but it didn't take me until 4, like the end of 4. And it didn't take me until, I've been playing Tekken since 5, and it didn't take me until Tekken 7 to think I was good at the game either. To honestly think that's the best I've been in. And I'm not trying to jerk myself off either, because I've done well in Tekken 5 tournaments, and I've beaten like notable players in Tekken 5 tournaments, but it didn't take me until Tekken 7 to really think of myself as a good player. Excuse me. But so I feel like this is a beating horse topic, but I want to get into it, and I feel like I've been talking too much, so I'm gonna ask Vince. So Vince, because my main concern or my main goal for Strive is for it to live in San Diego, and I have good faith that it will. But I feel like we got to work together, because I'm gonna tell you we're gonna do some stuff for TTF Online, and yeah. So Vince, so I want to ask you, as a community, what should be some of the first steps we should do for Strive? I mean, we can use this for any game coming out, but I feel like Strive is the only fighting game coming out right now. So what can we do for Strive? And I hope people are listening, maybe other people that are TOs, Jacob or anyone else. Like I said, me and Vince, our word is not God, but we've seen a thing or two for a long time. So Vince, if I were to ask you, what would you do to see that Guilty Gear had and I mean, take it in fact that we're all online. So I want you to, so I guess we're talking about online. So what can we do now for Guilty Gear to make sure that we have a strong scene still, and that it will survive until we go back offline? And I'm guessing offline is not going to be until 2022 or something. I'm just throwing that number out there.
That seems pretty realistic. The whole let's get everybody ready to do stuff by July thing seems mostly doable, but I mean, I'm assuming that events won't come back until the year afterwards, because we're not idiots.
Kadar. Hey, if you guys know, Kadar had the Kadojo, and Legade beat him like 60 times in a row. I think, is that the story, Kadar? Just remind the chat how many times Chris beat you, and then I'll mention you that for that story. Anyway,
Kadojo.
Vince, go ahead, man.
What can we do? I think the general question was, what can we do to help out Strive? And the main thing is getting on the same platform for that game is going to be pretty important.
Yeah.
Most of the people I've talked to is going to be playing the game on PC, so getting on that is good. Actually buying the game and playing it, and that's pretty much the biggest one that you can do. Like, we can only talk about how good the netcode is and how good the online play is. You just got to do it for yourself. You got to get the game. You got to play it. Definitely approach it. If you're someone who's played Guilty Gear before, definitely 100% approach this as a brand new game and not an extension of other Guilty Gears that you've played. Otherwise, you're probably going to be pissed.
Yeah, don't buy Plus R thinking that it's gonna get you ready for Strive.
It's absolutely not going to get you ready
Someone
in any way, shape, or
form. I'm like, all right, man, go for it, bro.
It's like, oh, Street Fighter 6 is coming out. I'm going to go buy 5. It's like, that shit's not going to help you at all. I imagine that game's going to look very different than what you have now.
We brought Ono back. Yeah, so what the fuck is happening? Anyway, continue.
Just the interest in events is another big thing. There's already people, there's whispers, in the dark internets about holding day one tournaments, holding sorting hat tournaments, holding things like that. So as far as events are concerned, most people are excited to run events, but we need people to actually join the events. So anytime something comes up and it's local and you got the time for it, you should absolutely consider entering any of these events. I can't imagine any of them are going to have a cost attached. It's just basically going to be your time, and basically all of your time is worthless to me, so you should join the tournament. I think those are like the real big things. Speak about the game, play the game, talk about the game, things you like, things you don't like. Thankfully, a lot of us are streaming, so that helps with visibility. So that's another big important one, is showing that people are playing the game. I don't think this game's going to have that much of a problem compared to other things like Grand Blue, compared to other anime games, because everybody's pretty excited about it. So I'm not too worried about that one. But if you get a chance to, you should stream the gameplay, stream the tournaments, tune into your locals, just the usual shit that you should be doing anyways, if you actually care about the scene.
Like that. All right. Okay. So
PS4
yes,
sticks work out of the box. For the most part, many of them have compatibility with PS5. I know for sure that the Obsidians do, and a few other ones. So I'm pretty sure you shouldn't have a problem with that. It's
just
not insane to play that game as a way to pass time till Strive, but it's just a lot of the things are probably not going to carry over. You should absolutely play the game if you think it looks good.
yeah.
There's tournaments for it and all that, but expecting uh, the experience from previous Guilty Gears to transfer and get you ready for Strive, that's probably not going to happen. So I just want you to keep that in mind. That's all.
I feel like a lot of fighting games, when it comes down to Guilty Gear, was the only game that you can play an older version of it and carry it on to some, to the next one, like with
I
Reloaded,
mean, there was a bit of
plus
legacy
R.
stuff involved, but that's just
Yeah,
because they didn't have a new version for so long.
no, that's what
Anybody
I'm
going
saying.
from the previous Guilty Gear to Exard, like that shit was a pretty drastic change.
Because think
So
of, I'm not gonna count like Street Fighter 4 AE, Super. Like just think about like something like I'm gonna play Street Fighter 4 to get ready for 5. You know what I mean? It's like what the fuck? I'm gonna play Marvel 2 to get ready for 3. I'm gonna play like Tekken Tag to get ready for
yeah,
7. Like it's you know what I mean? It's like so it goes in the lineup. I'm gonna play plus R for Strive. So it's just you just gotta. It's funny, but Strive plus R is a fun game, man. Like Guilty Gear is one of the only like not only now, but I mean back in the day was. I always thought Guilty Gear was like the coolest anime fighter game because it was always at Evo in the beginning, you know what I mean? And everyone played it, fucking Daigo played it, Daigo won an Evo for it. Everyone was like,
yeah. When Daigo played that game, he was really good at it. So
everyone like,
once they nerfed Soul, he stopped playing. It's kind of a
yeah,
bitch, but like
you know,
that's fine.
SBO tournaments were always sick for it. Fucking a lot of the top Street Fighter players, like now, or just the fighting game players in general, man, were all monsters in that game. You know what I mean? Kendevu, Kazunoko, like all those guys are fucking monsters in Guilty Gear. And it's funny that some people don't even know that, dude.
People don't even know that Kazunoko was a Guilty Gear player. That shit, that's pretty funny. Remember when he won the Rising Star Award? That shit had me fucking cracking up, dude.
The one guy that wanted to order Soul back, and it was like Kazunoko.
It's Kazunoko, yeah. It's like,
No,
it's like who's when they talk about Kazunoko, it's like, yeah, who's this really good Order Soul player? His name is Inoue, dude. Who is that guy?
yeah,
It's
it's
like
Kazunoko,
you're a
man.
fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
that's funny, dude. And that dude just still looks the same, man. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
can Devu play? He was a beast. RF was a multi
Ralph
game.
was really good. Yeah,
All
he was
those
really
guys
good
are
at that.
multi gaming gods, man.
He's
RF
playing
is
Strive too,
yeah.
so
No, yeah, I was watching. Yeah, he was playing Strive. RF. He beat Chris G at fucking Evo and Marvel 3, man. Like that, like
pretty bad, yeah.
and he's a psychopath, and he's pretty good in Street Fighter 4 too, man. Like it's fucking crazy, man. That but no, I want yeah. So so going into keeping the game alive is that TTF Online is going to be happening for that game. I'm going to be having that. The question is as schedule wise because I want to.
I gotta let my cat up. I can't see.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. But
I'm still here. Go ahead.
I want to do weeklies again because I feel like there's no reason for me not to do weeklies as in even if I had a job there. I mean, I guess the last job was pretty tough because I didn't get home until like 12 sometimes. You know what I mean?
The last one were kind of the hard part.
If I had if searching for a new job and all, and I get like a normal fucking job where I can get home like by 6 or something, or but like I can get home at this time I'm supposed to get home, I would have weekly tournaments. I would, and it would be and I would put my time and effort to have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where Friday would be Street Fighter 5, Saturday would be Tekken, and Sunday would be, I guess, Strive, or fuck it, we'll do Accent Core. I don't know, we'll do something. I still need to figure it out, but for damn sure, sorry about the last job, Cody. Don't worry about it, man. It's not, I'd rather work at a place where, you don't get bit by a dog or get a gun pulled on you, but it happens. But
sometimes you don't get to make that choice. Sometimes you just break through the wall and there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean,
another thing that I forgot to mention for Strive is I hope that at least one of the online people that wants to run tournaments will do a Ranbat for that game, because I think in the beginning of that game a Ranbat would be like super helpful.
Well, I was talking to some of my friends at higher places about prizes, and I was gonna announce that I was gonna do Ranbats for those 3 games, but we'll talk about that later too. I've been cool, dude. You know what? I'm gonna get that. There's a lot of. I don't think it's. I like the. It's one of those. Oh, that's cute. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of new school players that. I'm thankful that I've been there, at least for the first Evo. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly didn't know Like Daigo, I was there when Daigo won Guilty Gear, Turbo, and you know what I mean. It was that guy won like 4 fucking things in one Evo. You know what I mean? And then I didn't know like I've seen Kendevu kill it in CV. Like it's crazy, dude. Mago, dude, fucking. I only knew him for CVS too, man.
God, man.
And then that dude became like every other Street Fighter guy. It's insane, man. Tokido, dude, he's like one of the most I look up to, man. That guy's a fucking if I had an FGC hero back in the day, it was Tokido, man. And like I honestly
I still think that to this day I think he's one of the more respectable players.
It's so crazy how like e-sported out he is now, but dude, good for him, man. He's making a living off of something. He's fucking, it's insane, man. Even Daigo,
that's the one thing that makes me the most sad, I think, about the scene is that it seems, compared to how it was before, it seems a lot more divided. Like people only really do focus on 1 or 2 things now, and that's in part to a lot of things. Like, I get it. I'm not upset about it, but that's the one thing that I wish would change.
Yeah, because I mean, all I'm gonna say is that Tokido beat Justin Wong at CEO, and the reason why I picked that team is because of him. I mean, that's a good fuck, man. That guy was sick. I can't tell you how many Evos that I stayed to watch KOF. Because he was in like top 8 or top 16.
He was in top 4 a lot of the time.
Top 4. Tekken Tag. That guy was a beast in Tekken Tag. He played Soul Calibur. Like he wasn't that bad in Soul Calibur. He played a lot, man. And if you would have if you got to see Fudo play Virtual Fighter, that shit's sick, man. You should that guy's really the number 1 player. Like that guy came all the way to Super Arcade for like a Virtual Fighter a Virtual Fighter Invitational, and only like 10 or something people showed up. But first place was a shitload of money, and he flew all the way out here because that dude, like, they flew him out because he's the best Virtual Fighter player. You know what I mean? And like the stories about how the Virtual Fighter arcade game was cool because you go around each story. It's like the single player mode is that you go around to different arcades and you fight people, and then you fight like the number 1 AI in the game, like the boss, and it was like Fudo's ghost. You know what I mean? It was
it was basically Fudo's gameplay.
Yeah. So I mean, what the fuck are we talking? Oh, anyway, yeah. But like I said,
I had to go off on a tangent for a second because I think that's a slightly important topic.
Yeah, but no, like I was saying that I was watching I saw like Daigo too, man. Like we're talking about players like I respect. Like that guy he played so many games too, and it sucks that he's only playing Street Fighter 5, but it's it's what's getting him paid.
I get it. You're making a living on it. You got to do that. You got to focus. You think you have to focus on 1 or 2 games, but that's something that I was guilty of in the past. Also, was just sticking to one thing. It's like there are so many good games that are worth your time that you should try to actually be a member of the FGC instead of just playing one thing. Dude, and Daigo, I think it's very important, especially in this day and age.
And Daigo's on that list too, because the hero list. Because I always thought MOV was sick too, because he won SBO with a broken finger, and I didn't know that Daigo fucked up his hand too, like recently. So he won. Yep. I mean, even though it was like fucking the exhibition matches, he won that match like 4-1 with a broken thumb. You know what I mean? Like. But it's so funny when I watch his stream. Just look at it. He's just like, it's funny, dude. It's funny. That's crazy. It's crazy. Like, but good for him. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. Like, dude, a lot of those Japanese players, besides like Sako and them, they're probably like at least 2 or 3 years older than I am. You know what I mean? Or maybe they're probably your age, Crisco. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah. But pretty much what I was what we're talking about. Also, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but I'm gonna wing anyway. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about before, the dog, you know what I mean? Anyway. So my goal is to I don't know when we're gonna start. It's early in the month, but I do want to have tournaments Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They will be Ranbats. If not for prizes, it's gonna be whatever. I mean, just to have something, bragging rights online or whatever. The Matcherinos have been
gotta do something. So
the Matcherinos you guys have been really awesome with the Matcherinos. I mean,
Glizzy finally got a Matcherino. That was pretty funny. That made me happy.
No, that was sick, man. I'm surprised. I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm surprised at how much you people. I love Jacob's tournaments, man. I love Jacob, man. Like he's keeping it. He's holding it down, man. He's holding it down for.
It's amazing what consistency can do for your scene.
He's holding it for the North County boys, and I was thinking, where's Tekken? You know what I mean? Like, where's what happened to the third? Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna get into it because we all have our own schedules. I mean, you can ask me too. Where's Tekken? But it's just that Jacob.
I think that the net code and the lobbies really hold that game back. So
I can't. It's just that I
you
yeah.
can't avoid talking about it.
You
Like the
can't
net
avoid
code.
talking about it, but then you can't also avoid all these other tournaments happening. You know what I mean? Like people are they're going through hell and back, dude. Like doing these tournaments for these people. So it's one of those things where I just gotta swallow my pride and fucking do it. But no,
it really doesn't matter. We're either gonna do it or we're not. And in this day and age, we kind of just got to do it anyways. But yeah, it's the game makes it difficult. I think that's the biggest hurdle for games like that is that the games make it so hard. Even Street Fighter, like the game makes it so hard for us to, really care about it. So
yeah. I mean, the last week or the last Street Fighter Online, it wasn't that bad. You know what I
I had
mean?
a lot of fun
Yeah.
last week too. Yeah, it was mostly okay. But
Not even that, but just
the hiccups are like, really noticeable in those games.
That's just funny. But no, what I was saying was that I'm really surprised that there wasn't more. God damn it, I hate that red square so much. I was really surprised that there wasn't more money in the Matcherino. I mean, I know we're all poverty and all that shit, but I feel like Jacob's.
You mean in the Glizzy one?
Yeah, in the Glizzy one.
It basically got done like that day, and we didn't promote it. So like, I'm not too surprised. We'll see what happens next week, though. That's going to be the real deal.
Then maybe it was their fault, but I mean, if I found it, you know what I mean. It's like if I. I'm not the smartest person in the bunch, man. But it's just,
I was just about to get to that point. If Cody can find it, then yeah, it should work. But it was basically set up like during the tournament, so that's probably a big reason for that.
Well, yeah, I guess because the first, I'm just saying that I feel like Jacob does a lot, and I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to put money in it every time, but at least for the first match, it should have been something special. But whoever got my $10 in KI and my $10 in fucking Guilty Gear, I hope you guys enjoy it, man. But I mean, there's like everyone. Each tournament has their pro and cons, and everyone has their. Why are all these people messaging me? Fuck, man. If you have a question, just wait. Earl's messaging me. We'll look at it anyway.
Yeah, you could just delete that one.
Can I get an invite to Jason Derulo group?
No, you cannot. You can go through the fucking official channels like everybody else does. Answer the goddamn questions.
Oh, dude.
That's what I'll tell you.
No, but Jason Derulo, man. Oh, man, remember when like
I already know where you're going with this one, and yes, I do.
The only reason why people don't move is because it's the where we are, like, God, thank you for that, dude. Anyway, no, but
he made a new Facebook. Okay, never mind. My bad.
So,
that's my fault.
He made a new Facebook.
Gotcha. But still answer the questions.
But
JMO will let you in.
Yeah, JMO should be able. Well, I'll deal with it anyway. So so I will be doing tournaments for the game, but it's up to you guys. They're gonna be free, obviously. I mean, I'm not gonna tax everyone because one idiot wants to play Overwatch, But it's just
thankfully the tournament was smooth this time. Is all I'll say about that.
It's just there's a lot of good matches.
Who is JMO, dude? Who is JMO?
But then it's one of those things too. It's just like I never want to step on people's feet, which I don't want to step on Jacob's feet because Jacob's the only guy doing. I'm so sad. Dude.
Thankfully, he's got a stranglehold on the middle of the week, so the weekends are mostly free.
Jacob has been so consistent, man, and I just
since his return, he hasn't missed a single week.
Yeah. But still,
it's not easy to run.
It's not like he disappeared and didn't say anything. He announced that he was, blah blah blah. But we'll see. So that's since he's not that. This is where it's gonna. This is where I like. So I know for sure Jacob's gonna have tournaments for Stripe, and there's no doubt. And they had a Skullgirls tournament today, so for sure.
First ever Skullgirls tournament was today.
So I don't know if it's gonna be a monthly,
That's a bi-weekly.
It's a bi-weekly.
It's supposed to be, at least.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like in the beginning people won't get burnt out on Stripe, especially if it's gonna be a free game. So if anything, when Stripe comes out, it's probably gonna be I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll talk to Vince. Obviously, Vince is not always gonna be there for commentating. You know what I mean? But it's
there was almost a commentary disaster this week for Glizzy, man. Nobody showed up, dude. I was about to do 2 games at once. But yeah, commentary's hard, man.
But I mean, I don't know if I want to save like. I'll figure it out what games should be on each day. But for sure, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll have tournaments because I ain't doing anything. We'll figure it all out. And it's just all other. It's up to you guys, to show up. But yeah, I think Strive's gonna be good, and I feel like
I hope it comes out in June. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the extra time that's getting taken, it can only be a good thing. I can't imagine we're gonna get something worse than the lobbies we already played in. That would be incredible. That would be a real feat. Is if we get something worse than what we played on this time. So
Okay.
any time is okay to me.
All right, so let's on the Strive topic. I want to ask you, so would you say that this is the easiest Guilty Gear version to get into?
For the most part, I'm gonna say yes. I would
Yes.
say yeah. It's
Okay, so
supposed to be catered towards people who have not played a game before, and you can see it in a lot of the systems. There's still a few of them that are, I think, more difficult, but for the most part, this is a pretty playable game if you've never picked one up in your life.
So what? Because I felt like you had a little bit of hesitation when you answered that question. So what's holding you back from just saying yes? This is the easiest Guilty Gear or to pick up.
The combo system is incredibly unintuitive for anybody. I think the way that the previous games worked is you could just press Gatlings in order. Gatling is basically a chain combo. If you've played other games,
Man.
you can press that in order and get a combo. In this game, the chains are like significantly reduced. So
I feel like
actually getting a meaningful conversion is sometimes more difficult in Strive. I think
playing a plus R was just like, oh, you hit a punch, you get kick, punch, heavy, slap, blah blah. But
there are so many more chains and there are so many more staggers that you can do in those games that I don't understand why those don't exist anymore. That's very, to me, beginner unfriendly is the way I would say. Giving me less options seems like a worse thing.
I feel like if you were going to make an easier game, you would keep that system in the game. So when newer players, I got a punch, I don't know, you know what I mean? Oh, I can just press kick and heavy into a
you can play Soul and then you play Kai, you can do a lot of the same chains. It's like that should transfer over if you want it to be catered towards new players. That's the one thing that doesn't make sense.
Because the toughest thing for me until the end of the beta, which was you only get 3 days, was I guess well, Vince talked a lot about the beta. So my beta experience with Leo was that I was sad. I mean, he's still Leo, but I was just. The only reason I'm sad is because they took a lot away his cool moves. There's a lot of moves. They took out moves that I thought were cool, but in reality,
imagine being a Faust player, dude. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Imagine being a Faust player.
So it's just like, I mean, his records. I like his records because they look cool, and you got a lot of like shit off of it. They took out, I feel like the dust, for certain characters, dust combos in that game or just air options are just really bad.
They absolutely are. Air chains and air conversions are just not a thing, and that's by design, unless you're playing Milia or Soul. So
I was thinking that man, Milia gets I feel like she's the only person that gets a real combo off an air conversion.
She was getting consistent real conversions off of air-to-air hits and anti-airs. Same with Soul. Whether or not that's intentional or not, because it involved a lot of dash cancels, that's a different story. But that led to those characters. I talked about it in the Vince cast, but it led to those characters feeling a lot more complete than some of the other ones. So
yeah, because I feel like with some characters, I'll just use Leo as an example. Because with Leo, you get a hit, you get SSH, double jump, SSH, and you get the move that knocks him down, and you're in back turn stance, and
which does not exist anymore.
Which does not exist. So now it's you still get it took some labbing, and Toki showed me some stuff, but to get that, I feel like it's not worth it, and it's too
absolutely it's not 100% not worth it.
Too much work, especially trying to anti-air in this game. It's like because
that was the hard part.
Yeah, right. Like it's a lot harder. And what I learned yesterday talking to Drake was that because I was playing, I played Jet for like 3 hours yesterday in Plus R after the tournament. That I've always it takes me as a player. My fault is that it takes me way too long to ask a question. So the whole time,
you gotta ask questions. You absolutely gotta ask questions. Do not ever be afraid to ask questions about any game ever.
And this is from me playing, fucking Reloaded when they first came out, like trying to learn the games, and just keeping some things on. And for a while, I was like, why am I getting hit? Am I air blocking? Why am I getting? So I learned just yesterday, sadly, that if they're grounded and you hit a normal, you can't. They're unblockable. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you have to FD normal in the air in Guilty Gear.
I didn't know that. Them. So, but when they're doing a jump attack and hitting you, you can block it. So I didn't know that. But did they take that out in Strive? Did something happen in Strive, right?
Yeah. That is one of the main complaints, is that there are no air unblockable moves anymore. So that's why up back on defense was so strong, because now you can just do that basically for free, because none of the moves are going to hit you and make you use faultless defense in the air. That's one of the big complaints. That's why they're complaining about it.
And it makes some characters that do have like the air dash moves that are like Melia, right? Like I feel like Melia and Giovanni's like air game is like way too strong compared to other characters.
There's a lot of stuff that those characters could do in the air that was kind of hard to deal with. Yes, for sure.
And to my next topic, I feel like for certain characters that the dash button is really, really, really convenient.
There's a few characters that it's very good for. Yeah, the intention, I'm sure, was to make it accessible so people could air dash, and it helps in the RC combos, because a big part of the RC system in this game is dashing and RCing so that you can get a follow up. So I imagine that was the intention, but it basically makes a lot of things that shouldn't have been possible. But I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. That's one of the things that I'm least worried about. People playing the game optimally quicker is not a concern that I typically have, unless something really crazy comes out.
All right, before you say anything else, I want to ask you this question. So I'm pretty sure you answered it, but it's just so. What's your honest opinion on the dash button?
Use it. That's it. It's probably not going away, and if it makes it to the game, which I think it will, you should absolutely be using it. There's no reason not to.
Okay.
My character doesn't have a dash,
I know. Well,
I could not use it during the beta, but let's pretend I did have it. I would have absolutely.
It's like when I was using Potemkin still, like in Zerd and shit. I mean, he doesn't have a run either. You know what I mean?
Nope,
he does have one of the sickest backdashes, but I mean, and I believe Leo can run, right? Leo can run. Yeah, he dash.
He should have a dash style. Still.
I think he only had the dash. I don't think he runs. He just dashes. Order Soul.
He dashed in the other game. I'm pretty sure he still dashes.
I think he just dashes. Yeah. So what I want is so talking to you guys,
and he does have an air dash, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, yeah, now in this game though, I mean, nothing every move beats his air options. Yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents about macros, and so you gotta remember, I come from an era where if you used a throw button, you were called the gay F word, or people fucking hated you, or you were banned. You got they American, I guess American TOs made a rule where like they ban macros, right? And then not only until I forgot what Evo it was, or what Battle by the Bay was, where they banned, or they one of the players got in trouble because and he was a European players, because European players, it was I think it was Genius, the pop player from France.
I think it was too.
But they gave him shit because they're like, oh, he has a fucking throw button, blah blah blah. It's because everywhere else it's okay, but
nobody gave a shit. Yeah,
but no one gave a shit. But I feel like the American culture was like, oh, like macros make the game easier. It's cheating. You're weak. It's not how you're intending to play, because in the arcades, I feel like, yeah, that was it. Actually, I think it just clicked right now. It was like, well, you can't. There's no macro buttons in the arcades because you only have arcade sticks. Blah blah blah. So they're trying to, copy the Japanese arcade style into the American style for offline event, for console events, banning macros for controllers and like arcade characters too. Because Cliff was an arcade character, or he was a boss character. Cliff was only console, right? Cliff and Justice were only console.
They became characters in later versions, is what you're thinking.
Yeah. But I mean, there are okay, let's just forget about that. But there are characters that they banned because they were like console only, right? Because you can't.
I know a lot of people didn't play during Street Fighter 4 in the beginning, but there was a movement in the beginning of that game to play the arcade version of that versus the console version that we got with the extra characters. That was one of the dumber things that's happened in recent times. But yeah, that's absolutely a thing. People wanted to play vanilla that versus vanilla console. So
well, then
it's a thing.
The sad thing is too that if that was a thing, then you would have never found these fucking crazy players like Online Tony, all these these characters.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and plus we didn't have many arcades. There was 2 or 3 of them here in California that we could actually go to. So it was basically
if you guys want to sit through an arcade tournament with 80 people with one cabinet, be my guest. I've done that a lot.
Yeah, good luck, man. No, never again, dude.
I can't tell you how many times I have done that. Every Sunday, when Street Fighter 4 came out, you know what I mean? Every fucking Sunday. If you want that, go for it, man. Yeah, that was fun, man. But and then another thing too, it's like I feel like It's like the G always tells a story too, and that never hit me either. It was like, because he was a pad player, and he played Melty Blood, and he had and he had the dash bun, and then he went to his tournament, and they said he couldn't play because he can't use his dash bun, and he didn't know how to use a stick because all he had was a pad, so he didn't play, and he quit playing, and his thing was like, damn, you're hurting. Like you're hurting your community for a stupid rule, and your community only has 10 people, now only has 9 because you banned this guy because he can't use a dash button.
You have to absolutely try to be as inclusive as possible within reason. You have to at least try.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's all I was saying too. Is it's like you're like, why would you hurt your community for this dumbass rule? You know what I mean? Like, and then it's a rule.
We can still ban Dawn, that's fine. But for something like this, you gotta think a little bit outside the box.
And it's a rule that because like I also believed in that. I was like, oh yeah, arcade, evil rules, blah. Because evil was doing it for a while too. I don't know when they started allowing it, but it's just crazy that I never really.
Pretty sure like the advent of like consoles and shit when it like really became a thing, and that's what we had instead of arcades. I'm pretty sure that's about the time that people started to go back on that.
Yeah, like little J Flow brought it up too, where like why are people giving so much shit for the strike button when no one gave this much shit to Fnatic for using his dash button. And I feel like dash button in Marvel was insane too. Like that was an instant win.
Now remember he couldn't mash out of certain things because he had to map that. But yes, it was pretty damn good.
Oh, and now you got hitboxes too, man. Like you're just dashing. You know what I mean? It's just.
Theoretically perfect inputs every time. He's like, that seems kind of crazy, but how much of an impact has it really made?
It's so that's crazy to me that I feel like that's not cheating because there are certain things that you can do on a hitbox that you can't do on controller and stick.
But you can absolutely do those things on a keyboard if you brought a keyboard, and those are legal. So it's like,
dude, do you remember that Karen guy that had it was like a stick, but the mouse, or not the mouse, the joystick was just the arrow keys, and then like his buttons were like regular. But that was really cool. But
a few mixed boxes out there, even before hitboxes became a thing, those were absolutely a thing that some people used.
I think Desi, when I first met Desi when he was playing Third Strike, he had one of those, and it was like a legit stick too. He made it was like a dreaded fist stick or something that he made custom for him. But so like I said, old Cody, SRK, like fucking unprotectedSEX. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, you fucking bad word, like. Yeah, but that's banned, blah blah blah.
Some of those words, we left in the past, man. But if you watch the old podcast, you can find them.
You pussy, blah blah blah. But now it's just like, I feel like if you make the game easier, because like, it's not my right to take it on. Like, why? It's like I'm like the old man yelling at the clouds, like back in my day, like you fucking.
It's usually me, so I'm glad to hear somebody else.
It's not gonna matter because you're killing your game, dude. You're killing your game. You're killing a game. You don't want to kill a game.
There are certain things that are worth fighting for, and there are certain things that are not. And I don't think this one's worth fighting for.
I feel like the dash button is not worth fighting for. I mean,
it's not worth fighting for. If it makes it in, you should absolutely use it. And if you don't, you're kind of hurting your own gameplay.
Yeah, too. And it sucks for like players like yourself that it's not going to matter in the
end.
Did
I practice air dashes for a long time? Can I do air dashes when I want to? Can I do all that stuff? Sure, I can, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to use the dash button anyways.
Yeah, if an air dash makes a player like enjoy the game, makes it a lot easier for him to pick up. Good for him, dude. And it's just gonna make you. Like I guess the old school player, like you got to work harder now, man. These guys are getting better. Like, we're not getting any younger, man. I was like thinking about that too. It's like crazy, man. Just like all these like just the mentalities from like the arcades to now. I mean, we can have a whole podcast talk about that, but it's not healthy. I miss it, but it's not healthy.
And there's some things that should stay in the past, and there are lessons that we could take into now. It's just kind of a give and take thing.
I miss it, but it's like, man, like just leave it in the past. Let's strive to build a better community, and like let's just like we can be better. So
interesting picture, Drake. Thank you for that.
I really want to look at that.
Thank you for following the rule. That rule doesn't apply in this chat though, but thank you for giving me a description of it, a one-sentence description of your link.
But yeah, I'm for it, man. I can't wait. Guilty Gear Strive's coming out.
You should be and another thing, you should absolutely be thankful for this delay, and I'll see you guys in June for that game. Yeah. I'm hopeful about it, but the me of the past with Arxis and anime games, I would have thought this delay would mean nothing. I would think that these beta feedbacks meant nothing, but they've shown that they're willing and consistently listening to the feedback.
Yeah,
which I'm surprised by, and it makes me happy to hear.
And now I remember what I was talking about. What this all started an hour ago was that like I said, there were players. I mean, it's Bum. Bum had that tweet about how he was just pretty much mad. It's like he pretty much said, "Is a healthy netcode really sure you have a healthy netcode and it's going to be awesome for the game? But are you really going to play it after 2 weeks?" And I feel like, damn.
By the way, that guy did not play the beta. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
So
before we put too much stock into any statement that guy makes, he did not play the beta.
So, but this is what I'm saying is that this guy's a face of a community. He has the Dragon Ball community on his back. He's a face of community, and he's saying this. And there's gonna be people that take the people that like Bum. Like, I like Bum, but but this is like, what the fuck are you talking about? But there's gonna be people that don't know shit and read that comment, and you're gonna actually lose players because of that. You know what I mean? And then even just like, there are a lot of I can't even talk. There are a lot of people that are good at a game, and they're the face of the community, and they talk shit about their game. Avery's one of them.
I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their time or what they want to say, but that can sometimes be hurtful to your game. You should keep that in mind.
It's really hurtful to the game, especially if you are an influencer. I'm gonna say the word influencer, because like I said, you have these little people like that don't like they don't nothing about you. They idolize you, and they're just fucking like, oh my god, like so and so. Like, fucking Vince said this. Vince hates Street Fighter 5 and Cody hates Marvel 3. So we're not gonna play this game. That's why is that real? But
yeah,
but it's like, it's just.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to not talk shit. I'll let you do whatever you want with it, but be as informed as possible before.
Try to fucking read a book or something before you actually say something. Because Cody, I know you hate Marvel. You told me when you were.
Cody doesn't drink, so
I don't drink, dude.
Go fuck yourselves and stop spreading lies.
But it's so funny because then like
Marvel next week, man. Tune in to the tournament next week. There will be Marvel. And we have no part in that. That's why it's happening.
And then everyone is also it hurts the game. Stripe's coming out, and then everyone's like, oh, like I don't know why people are thinking that like this game isn't like. The game's gonna be broken, you know what I mean? Like hopefully people, they're saying that. Like I said, I know I'm straggling off here, but yeah. So the netcode, sucking the netcode's dick. People are gonna play for 2 weeks. So and so characters, blah 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 blah. So I'm in the end, I want people to play Strive. I feel like it's gonna survive. I really do. If it doesn't, I'll lick my wounds. I'll still play it, whatever. But I mean, you just gotta live through it, man. You gotta play it for it to survive, and it's gonna be a rough fucking first couple weeks or months, because like we said it earlier, that game's gonna be fucking broken. It doesn't matter that this beta and they're fixing. Yeah, they're gonna fix it. The game's still gonna be busted. If we're lucky,
there's gonna be something that's gonna be pretty crazy. You just can't get all the bugs like that out. It's just not possible.
If we are lucky enough to survive, there will be people picking more than like so and so characters. Like, we hope by the end of like the first update that everyone's just not using so and so broken top tier characters. You know what I mean? Like, because we don't know if Anji or are gonna be, they can be completely busted. They can have they look
basically copy pasted from older games.
They look characters that look like they're their vanilla selves. Because
they look like they're ready to go. Like right now, there hasn't been much gameplay. There's only been those 2 things that they showed off, but they look pretty ready to go right now.
I saw the butterfly hit and I saw the pillar come out. I'm like, there it is, man.
10 more years of this shit, dude. Like, Anji looks like he's ready to go.
So seeing that and seeing that has her tri-dash thing, like there are characters that are not gonna be able to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy.
In the current state of the game, that's gonna be a pretty tough one. Axel might be okay if since he still has 5P, but I mean, a lot of characters are gonna struggle.
That's one character out of like the 14.
She's had the same kind of mobility she had before. It's gonna be pretty tough in the current system.
I think she is. I think it's like if she is a boss character, which would be pretty cool, because she's like the OG of the OGs. But it's
one of the boss characters, yeah.
But it's like, it's fucking funny, man. It's just. What's up, Earl? Yeah, I got you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Make sure to answer the 3 questions, and JMO will let you in.
Yeah, I got you, man. Wait, did you let me double check real quick. Oh, okay, I got you. Out of the 20 people, wait, did someone approve you already, Earl? You might want to check, man. I don't see your name on this thing. unless you are this very sexy lady with her OnlyFans account in her info. I think Josh got you, brother.
You should be in already, I think, but we're not adding the OnlyFans people. We're not adding the OnlyFans bots, dude. We're not at that level yet.
Add them all. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I hope Guilty Gear survives. I'm gonna do my damn hardest for you guys. I hope Jacob and you guys.
That's for that game to survive is for you guys to play it. So
yeah.
If we hadn't given you enough reason to play it based on our feedback, you try it for yourself. You know, there's they say they want to do another beta before the game comes out again. They said they're working on it. So if that does happen, I encourage everybody to download it and try it for yourself.
Yeah. And maybe they'll put Angie and Nino in the beta. That'd be pretty crazy. If you try this game,
you would like to think that they put those characters in with all the shit they found with the other characters. Like, why wouldn't you want to test those out too? You know, so
yeah, I think that's how much I can talk about that. I feel like that was a good talk we had about that. Yeah, there's not much to say, man. I had a lot of fun with the beta. You know, I didn't have a problem with it. I enjoyed it.
There's a lot of things that I think need to change, and I'm interested to see what. I hope that they keep us updated on the process so far. They've been doing a much better job than they have in the past about keeping us updated about what they're doing. So I hope that we start getting more of those developer blogs along the way.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I had a lot of fun playing this beta. Basically, that's all I did. When I came home from work, I'd boot the beta up and I'd play, and then I'd go to bed, wake up, go to work, and I'd do the same shit. So I played it a lot, and I had a great time the whole time. Even despite how bad the lobbies are, how crazy the balance was, I had a good time playing it every time I booted it up. I did not want to play it. I never wanted to stop.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's get into the questions and let's wait. There's nothing. Okay. Before we get into questions, let's say anyway more about TTF online tournaments. As in, so yeah, I said Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll figure it out. If anything, we're gonna have something Friday. But like I said, I totally understand if Vince doesn't want to. If it might be too much of a hassle to have it weekly. I don't mind doing it solo. But that's something in the future that I plan on doing. For Guilty Gear Strive, it's gonna be PC. I technically bought 2 copies. I already bought the copy for PS4, but I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna play it on PC.
A lot of the people so far have been saying that they're going to play on PC, especially here in San Diego. So if I was going to get a version, I would bet on that one.
Yeah, I don't see why not. And then I'm pretty sure Jacob's going to have his things. If you guys don't know about the hot dog tournament, the Glizzy Wednesdays, permanent name as aka the hot dog tournament, is that Jacob has his tournaments on Wednesdays, and they've been going strong. It's for like 2 games that not a lot of people might not play, but they are getting more and more and more interest and people in their brackets. So if you are a player of Killer Instinct and Plus R, most definitely look into that. And they do have monthlies and bi-weeklies, which is Skullgirls at the moment will be a bi-weekly. And then I know they have Marquise and Mike do their Dragon Ball tournaments.
Yep.
And then they're adding more. There's a Discord. Follow the Twitter. We'll get the Twitter link in there and everything. Do you think GG is the only thing because everything sucks right now? We'll get to that.
I can tell you it's basically the only game that's playable online right now. And as of this current time, it's a pretty fun game. But that's all I can really tell you. You have to make the decision for yourself. But the good netcode is absolutely going to take that game places, I think. It's basically the only game that feels like a modern fighting game because I can actually fucking play with my friends that live not even that far from me.
Earl, I don't see you on here, man.
Are you just hijacking? Is this your podcast now, brother? And your woes to get into the SD fight scene, Jason Derulo?
Oh, there you are.
Should we just add you to the call right now?
We didn't find any people for this search. Earl has been accepted. There you go, Earl. Anyway, but yeah, so we'll put the Twitter info in there. I tweet it all the time. Blah blah blah. I don't know anyone else.
If you don't plug your OnlyFans as soon as you get into the fight scene right now, I'm going to be upset, dude. You had to have a pretty good reason for wanting to get in so bad. So I hope to see your OnlyFans. I'll be a subscriber.
But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, man. There's not that much going on. So if you're a Guilty Gear player and all that shit, hopefully, if we do
you get a page invite, you search up San Diego fighting game scene, Jason Derulo, and then you answer the questions. And
but
then
who's asking that?
Matt.
Oh, what was I gonna say? But yeah, so we'll do that. Hopefully, like I said, because so far I feel like Street Fighter 5 and I guess Tekken 7. Oh, I'm not even say Tekken 7. Tekken 7 is gonna be on there for sure. Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5 will be the 2 games. And I guess where I'm going into also is like always the same question was like I always say, yeah, well, will people, if this was like an offline event, was like, all right, so you want everyone to come to your tournaments. So I always say, will people from Daviston go to TTF? Will the people from Daviston go to North County? Will the people from North County, blah, 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 vice versa, blah, 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 blah. I know there's certain people that, I don't know what it is, man, but hopefully with Strive and online, that will the people from like Jacob's tournament playing TTF, and will the people in TTF playing Jacob's tournament? And I kind of feel like they won't. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's always God bless Jason, Joseph and Jed and Chili Sprout, and I feel like when Davis thing was going on, I know I'm like I love ranting, but I feel like like the old days when it was like me and Gerald going to like the salt mines and all that shit. Like that's why like when I went to like Davis thing with Jed and Joseph, I was like, damn, like these guys really want to play, man. But then they would always bring it up too. Is someone was like, when Friday comes along, it's like where's all those guys that we talk about? You know what I mean? You was, But I miss David's. I miss David's tournaments, man. Those were fun, dude. I had a good time,
I went
man.
to, I had a pretty good time. So
Man,
I would like to see every local return.
Oh, yeah.
I say that every time. So
I would like I said, I would like to see every local return, and I would like to see every local one day of the month in one fucking under one roof or venue, man. But yeah, so that's for tournaments. We'll post more info always. I mean, Glizzy's has their Glizzy has their Discord and their Twitter. Fuck, man, what the hell's going on? I'm dying, dude.
No, we're all dying, brother.
Under one hole in the roof at TTF.
Yeah, under the one hole of the roof at TTF, dude. I'll see you in the Dreamcast setup area. You know where it is, man. Me, Lotheb, he's got next, dude. He's always got next.
Warrior Friday fight, dude. There are some like I don't.
See, yeah, arcade, dude. Me and J-Flo have been playing for weeks now. I just haven't been telling you guys. Fuck the bees. There's a lot of interesting things going on there.
Yeah, GameSync was tight, dude. Yeah, GameSync, man. I mean, I'm everywhere, dude. World Warrior, man. Fuck it, man. I'm gonna tell you
that security guard at GameSync. That was cool.
Those TTFs, I didn't have TTF, man. I was mostly at Dust Loop Fridays, man. I ain't gonna lie, dude. There's one time where I TTF was canceled because I had like a dinner with my mom and shit. Then I hit Vince up and I was like, hey, you want to go to Dust Loop? I drove all the way up to Vince's and we drove down to Dust Loop. That shit was fun. I remember
it was during the car impound arc of my life, I couldn't get anywhere. So thanks for picking me up, by the way.
And then one time, I mean, fucking, I remember it was like Tong's birthday, and it was like me, Gerald, and fucking Dre and Diotto, I think, and we were fucking drunk as fuck. And I was like, dude, I don't want to drive. And it was like in the Claremont area, literally down the street from fucking Dust Loop. So after Tom's birthday, we went to Sergio's, and Gerald and Dre, we were just wasted. We went to fucking Dust Loop Friday. That shit was mad fun. J Smack was there.
Fridays was a great thing, dude. Dust Loop Fridays was very cool.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. It was a fucking blessing. I got super happy every time on a Friday at TTF when Drake or like fucking Hudson or J Smack would show up to TTF. I had the biggest smile on my face because I was like, oh, you skip Dust Loop Fridays to come to TTF, huh? I always love that shit. Always got me, man. I love that shit, man. But yeah, man. Damn, locals are sick, man. Hopefully we get them all back one day.
They'll come back. I hope that we have a nice place to play in whenever that happens. I know that things are happening behind the scenes on that, but hopefully, hopefully it gets done.
I'll enter next Glizzy Wednesday. Man, I got a YouTube video. I'm gonna make a YouTube video just for good talk. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Vince, is there anything else you want to talk about, or anything else you want to talk about before we get into the questions?
The Strive was the big one. Like I said, if they do another beta for you, anybody that didn't play in the first one or has any questions about the game, answer for yourself in the beta. Give it a shot. A lot of the features are available. You'll have a pretty good idea whether or not the game is, fun for you, and that's kind of what matters.
Yeah, and
whether or not it's a different story. That's different for everybody, but you'll find it fun or you won't, and try it out and see what you think.
And it's not much for me because I don't work for fucking the Guilty Gear team or anything. But real talk, man. Like if you took time out of your day to fill that beta out or the survey out, I mean, you did your part, man. And I really,
it was clearly worth it. I thought that the guy that was probably reading the survey, Zotbuster, the guy in Japan, I thought he was just not going to read any of them and just laugh and throw them in the trash. And instead, we got a delay, and hopefully that means we're going to get a better game. So that's
is Zotbuster the Potemkin guy?
Yeah,
he works for them.
I'm pretty sure he's the guy that's handling a lot of the stuff over there. I think it's Zotbuster that's reading the surveys and doing the English stuff. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember Toki just killing that guy at that one tournament. Dude, that tournament was so funny, man. I don't remember what it was. I think it was either like just a regular Wednesday night fights or like a Red Bull event. And Toki had to play like Zotbuster and Octopimp, and that was shit. He's like, oh, I gotta play this guy to play Kizzy, and I was like, this is the guy, and he like perfected him with. It was so fucked up, man. I miss those tournaments, dude. But yeah,
it's gonna be a pretty cool thing when we get tournaments back.
Man, damn, that would have been such a sick team. Because I think that's the one that if Toki would have somehow won that, it would have been like Richard, Toki, and Yan Flip. It's like
how crazy would that have been, dude? I probably would have never went to another tournament ever again after that.
That's so dude. That would be 3 people from SD. That's so sick, man. Oh, dude. But man.
Ooh, KOF 15. Yeah, that's a good question. Put that in the Discord so that we can answer that.
Yeah, put it in the Discord because KOF is. I know that from what I'm gonna be 100% with you. I'm not gonna care about KOF until Geese is announced, and even when he's announced, I'm probably not gonna play it. But I'll support it. But from what I'm seeing is that the last tweet I heard anything about it was that I guess they're pressured for netcode now because I guess like the meme is like, oh yeah, we had netcode the whole time, and then it's like we didn't have netcode. Fuck, man. Like, but I guess like from all the good feedback from Strive, like that's a good question. So that's in the. I think that's a question anyways. So I think Dale asked like, so do you think that all the So we'll get into that. Let's get into that later. Yeah. And before we get into the questions, there is a podcast next week, but we'll talk about what that podcast is going to, because I feel like it's going to be a lot. I feel like if we had this podcast would go on until like 2. It would have been the whole podcast. In good nature, there would be a reason. Because the first time he was on it went that long too. But all right, let's get into the questions. Discord. Wait, if I open this, okay, good. All right, I'm probably gonna like just when I see Kadar's name, I'm just gonna like blacklist it and not answer.
Just skip the question, dude.
Oh shit. First question was JFlo. Okay. All right. This is from JFlo. Who do you want to see in the new MK movie that wasn't shown in the trailer? All right, I'll answer that question first. So, before I answer it, reaction to it, thumbs up. So, the MK trailer.
That's good.
The MK trailer, that's not my question. That was, I reacted to my own thing. That's pretty funny.
You did. I know what you meant to do, though.
God damn it. That's anyway, we'll get to the point where is that, Tom Brady should see Crocker. See, Crocker already knows, man. No, I'm sick. I don't know, man. Yeah, there are a lot of cool characters, man. There was a lot, man. I'm pretty sure someone said like the guy that Liu Kang was doing the dragon thing on was like Cabal. Then if that's Reptile, then that's Reptile. You know what I mean? I guess as like the little kid in me, a Katana, man. Like Katana was like the waifu in the first one. I didn't know that. That I don't know who the actress is, but she was a Bond girl in one of the James Bond movies. That Katana chick, she was a Bond chick, dude. So hopefully Katana. I mean, Melina's in the game. I don't know like how well they're gonna go into the lore. From what I heard, doing my nerd research, was that they're gonna try to make it like into a Marvel universe, where they're gonna have they want to make multiple movies. And from that trailer, it looks really cool. But Katana is one. I think just Katana, man. I'm totally fine with the cast for Johnny Cage. I feel like that's crazy that he's not in the movie.
Yeah, I think this new character is supposed to basically be a replacement for Johnny Cage, which is kind of whack.
No, you can't replace. That's like,
I can't say because I don't know what the fucking script of the movie is, but from watching the trailer, that's kind of what it seems like, which is unfortunate because I think Johnny Cage is really cool.
They need a Johnny Cage unless he like died in the backstory or something. I mean, that movie looks sick, dude. I mean, that trailer, That shit looked badass, dude. And the guy that's playing Scorpion was like the guy in The Last Samurai that like beat the shit out of Tom Hanks, dude. Not Tom Hanks, goddamn Tom Cruise, you know. But
Tom Hanks, dude.
that movie looks fucking
Omega
sick,
Tom
dude.
Hanks.
That I don't know, man. I feel like I was like making a joke about how, you know, every time they make a new Spider-Man, like we already know that Uncle Ben dies, but every fucking Spider-Man they bring it back. And I was in my head, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna reboot every Mortal Kombat movie and how like Sub-Zero killed like Scorpion's family. That's gonna be like the new Uncle Ben thing.
It's like one of those things you can't avoid, you know. It's like,
but then because it's funny because it looks like, you know, this is the story from like the animated movie they did, you know, DC did. But I thought it was sick, dude. When it showed Scorpion rolling up and he just got the string and the dagger and he's like fucking all the link. I mean, that movie's gonna be sick, man. I don't know. And they're doing a weird thing where it looks like Kano's the good guy in the beginning. He's probably gonna be like a bad guy, and then fucking.
I'm more hopeful than I was before when I heard what the plot was supposed to be. So the trailer did a lot for that. So I can say that much.
It just looked really cool, man. Like it looked to me. What got me was like just like the shooting, like all like the, you know, like the angles and shit. And then like it looked cool seeing like, you know, Sub-Zero and Scorpion like in real time life, like fucking up people in the city. Like damn, like they gave like some Jack some like, you know, how he fucked up his arms. It just looked really cool, man. Melina's a ET waifu. That's pretty cool. It looks sick, man. You got Goro. I mean, Goro in the first one.
You know, that's pretty much the one character that I wanted to see in that movie, and you know, I already got to see that Goro was going to be in it. That's kind of the answer to that question. Goro and Reptile.
Like one of the sickest fucking characters in the first movie. Dude, someone was talking shit about the first Goro, and I think it was LPN. Dude, that guy sucks, man. I just wanted to post like, dude, Goro is so sick, dude. Just him waiting, talking shit. Like, is it time? And he's just like so amped up, and
he just beats the fuck out of everybody,
dude,
man.
The best part, like to me, what was like so bad is when he fucks that guy up, and then like, you know, he like raises his body to like Shang Tsung, and then like his like lower like hands are like bowing. Like, dude, this is so sick. Like,
Goro was very cool.
Like someone thought like, oh, let's have him like raise his body, but his like lower half is like he's like a bound to Shang Tsung. I was like, dude, this movie's so sick, man. The Goro bracket, dude. Yeah, and then you know it showed like Shao Kahn or not the statue of Shao Kahn and shit. I don't know, man. I'm really excited, and it's soon. It's like next month or in 2 months, man. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I basically have no concept of time these days, so I have no idea when it's coming out, but I think it's soon.
Yeah, no, it's like it's soon, man. Damn, that movie's gonna be sick, dude.
It's gonna be a good time, you know. I always like Sub-Zero as the bad guy. The first Sub-Zero was a real fucking asshole, man. I think that's really cool.
Dude, so. That like the little fight they had when like it looked like it was like a real X-ray move from the game when like he like hit him in the blood and like he froze his own blood and like fucking. Yeah. And then I like how
it seems like it's gonna be really stylish. Even if the movie is just a complete disaster, at least I think the fight scenes alone are gonna kind of carry it.
That's fine. Mortal Kombat 1 was, you know what I mean? Like it was just like it was
a coherent movie at least, you know. I'll give it that much, but yeah, the fight scenes really carried that movie too. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So it's fine.
Yeah, so we got off topic, but that was a cool. But yeah, for MK movie, I want like Johnny Cage and Katana, because Katana was she was a waifu, man.
Yeah, give me a good shot of Reptile, or you know, actually any of the new characters would be kind of cool. I doubt that'll happen though.
Would you be mad that if that like that lizard thing that Kano was fighting was Reptile? Would you be mad if that was like the design?
It can't be stupider than the first one we got, and that ended up being a really cool fight scene. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, yeah. Well, some of the new characters that'd be cool. But I feel like they're probably gonna try to stick to the.
Yeah, I cannot imagine any of the new characters. I think that would be really cool.
I'm hoping in the end of this movie, it's like you know, because you know, at the end of the first one, like Shao Kahn showed up, blah blah blah, and then the part 2 came. I was like, fuck, they fucked this up. But maybe in this one, it's like because you know the deep lore is that because apparently the story is supposed to be like about Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I don't know what's going on, but you know the lore with that was like Quan Chi was like the mastermind. So hopefully in the end we get Quan Chi. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty sick. I don't know. It looks cool. I'm fucking excited. I hope the soundtrack's sick. What was your favorite fight from the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie? My favorite fight is, Vince Reese, was the Reptile fight. That fight was that fight was ridiculous. Like just the build up to that fight was like it was insane, man. And I always smile like in the beginning because you know they're walking in the outer world, whatever, and like Liu Kang, and like Johnny Cage, like what do you do? What's and then he grabs it, and for some reason, he throws it in that weird mummy thing, and that mummy thing turns him into you know what I mean? But the sickest part is like, the eyes glow, and like you hear the announcer say Reptile, and then he kicks him through the fucking. I don't know.
It starts, dude. I go back and forth a lot between that and Scorpion and Johnny Cage. Like,
yeah,
it really depends on the kind of mood I'm in, because that shit is fucking crazy. Like, it's ridiculous as fuck.
I wish they put more time I wish they put the same time and effort in the Sub-Zero Liu Kang fight. I feel like they kind of short shafted Sub-Zero in that
That
fight.
shit was trash. But you know,
Yeah.
like if it means we get Reptile and Scorpion fights, like I guess it's okay technically. But yeah,
Yeah, but I always
that's a really tough question. But I go back and forth on those two a lot. If you ask me today, I'm saying the Scorpion one's better. If you ask me tomorrow, I might say Reptile's better.
yeah, after Johnny Cage beat him, he looked behind him. There was the exit sign that pointed up to the stairs out of hell. You know what I mean? They're right there, dude. But
And that's why he left the picture.
That Reptile, like, yeah, he well, he throws him through the wall, and then fucking, you know, he looks up, and then when like Reptile jumps up and like the lightning, and like Liu Kang's like, I fucked up, man. And then my favorite part always too is when he knocks him down and he makes that lizard noise when like he blows the smoke and like the fucking like the dirt just flies up.
Movie,
that shit's
great movie.
And they fucking part 2 sucks so bad with the Raptor. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I
totally forgot about like they had like the young Raiden fight the 20 rep. Oh, it was so that word, man.
Yeah, that's just trash, but
it's
cool.
Was trash, dude. And the Goro fight, Goro's bracket, dude. That was so
yeah, the Goro bracket.
No one. I wonder if anyone questioned that. Like, when the writer is like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Nah, man. You're just gonna come in and you're gonna say, "Is it time?" And you just say, "We let these humans win long enough," and you just pop off, man. Who do you think should have been invited to Gollum's Marvel tournament? That wasn't. I honestly think. Okay, so my list that I made. You gotta remember when I made that list. That all jokes aside, it should have been. I'm joking. No, real talk. That when I was looking at the bracket, I've had some inside. Well, it's not inside. I just heard that Johnny and Ray couldn't make the tournament. So Johnny and Ray were always two people that I had in mind, but at the time, so and so said that they're not going to be in it. So in the end, when I put me and Dre, I mean, I really think like, you know, Dre, you know, like, you know what I mean? A little, like when you're joking, you know what they say about when you're joking, there's a little truth behind it. Yeah, but in reality, I would have switched me at least for Johnny or Ray. You know what I mean? So pretty much we're a placeholder. So I really do think Johnny and Ray, but they're in the tournament, so it doesn't fucking matter. So yeah, thank God that they're in the tournament. When I really think about it, I think Ernesto should be in the tournament, Deus Ex. But then like I said on that, when I was doing the predictions, I explained that there is history between those two players. So I don't know if that history was involved in the decision. So I don't know what the decision was when that happened. Because in the end of at least even Marvel Ultimate Marvel, I do think Ernesto was one of the top players of San Diego. He won a curly mustache. He was one away from like top 8 at Evo. He literally had. There's no way Ernesto would invite decline a Marvel, you know, unless he doesn't know how to set up on his fucking $20 million computer. But that's all I'm gonna say. That guy put in a lot of work. There is a lot of funny history. I mean, I like him because I knew him. He was one of the first. He was Legate's friend. He was Chris's friend. So I never had a problem with him because he's a giant nerd. There's a lot of funny things about him. But in the end, that guy is a hell of a player. That guy put mad numbers, and it was funny. I'm not gonna get into it, but I just think he should be in it because he did a lot. He won a fucking curly mustache, dude. Ernesto, I would like to see Jay, but I already talked to. I think Tong was in the stream. We talked about Jay. Viscant was, yeah. He's one of those players that are good in the beginning of the game, and then you find them out. You know what I mean? He's like really good in every fucking game. You know what I mean? Street Fighter 4, he was a beast. Even MK, he was killing it in a while. But I feel like this tournament is gonna be really cool, but also really sloppy in the beginning. And then in the end of the tournament, it's gonna look really good. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure now everyone's playing, but you gotta remember that 16, 17 days ago, a couple weeks ago, that Mike had this idea. So you also got to remember that there are people in this tournament that do still play, because from what I hear, that Lord Peter, aka Shogun, he still constantly plays this game and plays in tournaments, and he's placing. And then also from what I heard is also Ray is still playing in tournaments. You know what I mean? So those two people for sure are still playing. And then you got people like, I'm not trying to talk shit, but let's say, because I don't know if these people still play, so I'm not gonna say any names, but it's like, then you got other people where, are these people still playing? You know what I mean? Are these people, you know, I'm only gonna play the day of, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a really interesting, cool tournament. Like every invitational is
Seems
like that.
seems kind of silly to assume that people who were invited to a tournament wouldn't play it until the day of, but I get what you're trying to say.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Well, Crisco said that, but I know for damn sure he's not.
Chris
That
was an
that
idiot.
that was the joke. That Crisco said he's gonna play. I mean, it's not a joke because I only know joke. But yeah, Crisco, if you're in here, he told me that he was gonna play the day of, which I know he's probably playing right now with like someone. But
He doesn't have internet though, so that might be kind of difficult.
but I mean, if we're gonna ask, I would say that Ernesto should be in the tournament. Who will he? Why?
I had nothing to do with that. I want to let you know that.
Replace though. I mean, I can say there's a lot. You know what I mean? But I'm not. We'll save that for another podcast. But Vince, because jokes aside, I know Vince knows a lot about the Marvel 3 scene in San Diego, or he's seen a lot. So Vince, Richard's in the tournament. The tournament's gonna be so sick, dude. But yeah, Vince, go ahead.
The three names that come to mind, is any combination of Tong, Dios, or Jay. It's real simple. Like those, if I had to pick the three names that I think probably would want a shot, or for whatever reason are not in, those are the three names that I would pick.
I feel like Tong declined.
I'm sure he would. I mean, he wants to just see this, but like if I had to make a list, those are the three people that.
Like, if you want, yeah. I feel like Adrian should have a spot too. He might be busy too. Man, Lolo Sack was really he was killing it too. Man, Marvel.
There's a lot of names like that. So for the most part, it seems this list makes sense. But those are the three names that kind of stand out to me if I had to pick like a couple. So
Seferic against Tong, NO matchup.
Yeah, the car, dude.
The car. All right.
It's tough to say though because I didn't really follow Marvel too much. I liked most of the players. Most of the people I like are there, so it's kind of hard for me to have too many faults with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, dude. It'll be fun next week, man. It's close. Who do you think? Oh, okay, you already read that one. I'm sorry. Who would win a short people fight, Chili Sprout or Pinoy? I'm not gonna answer that question.
I'm gonna veto this question, but Chili Sprout.
When is Paul buying a 1911 TRP operator? I don't know. I haven't talked to Paul in a while. Whenever Will makes him buy a gun, I don't know. C-Dubs is gonna come.
I don't know how to answer that question, so I'm gonna decline to answer that.
Leo Meyer, what characters, if you picked them, would have a 100% chance of being in the Guilty Gear Strive DLC? Let's do this. Did they announce the season pass already?
Yes.
How many characters did they say?
That I'm not sure of. If I had to guess, it would be five, but I don't know.
Okay.
5 is like a pretty big number for DLC usually, but I just don't know.
So my 5 would be Slayer, Johnny, Jam. Jam is the Kung Fu chick, right?
That's correct.
So Johnny, Slayer, Jam, Venom. I want to say a wacky character, but I'm not. Johnny, Slayer, Jam, Venom, and man, I want Jacko to come back. He was such a cool character.
Well, considering she's dead, that might be a tough sell. But
did she
you can wish and pray for it.
Oh, she died in the story?
Yes.
Oh, did Elfelt die in the story?
No.
Okay,
she's pretty story relevant. That's one of the picks that I think is like.
Elfelt will be the 5 for me. Johnny, Slayer, Jam, Venom, and Elfelt, and Batman from just
and Batman from the Injustice series and nothing else. Yes, of course.
All right, Vince, what's your 5, dude? Coombuster.
If I'm thinking of story relevant characters, Elfelt's one that comes to mind pretty quick. Elfelt, I'm gonna say Sin.
Ooh, yeah.
Sin's a pretty big part of the story. Dizzy's a pretty big part of the story. I would want Slayer. I feel like Sin's a tough sell though because of the blood meter and the calorie meter kind of work a little bit the same. The idea behind them is the same, so I think Sin probably wouldn't make it though. So if I'm gonna pick 5 though, let me think. I'm still gonna go with Elfelt. I'm gonna go with Johnny, Slayer. A new character from the story somehow. I don't know how, but I'm gonna say a new character. And the 5th one.
Yeah.
Zappa was in a little bit of the story, and I think it'd be cool if they did a redesign on Zappa. Like seeing what they did with Ram, everybody was pretty worried about what they were gonna do, how to make her less complicated, and that's like one of the strongest characters so far. So I think that they could probably redesign Zappa to fit in there. So those 5, or take any of them out and put in RoboKai. Those are like the 5 I would say. I think.
What kind of school? So I'm guessing that you.
Man, sister, maybe, who knows?
So in the story, I'm guessing you paid attention to the story. Like, did you at least?
I definitely had to watch it to get the point so I could unlock the song.
Okay.
So
So
yes,
what
I
I
did
want to
watch it at
ask
least.
you then is that because I didn't really wasn't paying attention. So in the end of the story, was it one of those things where I feel like Elfelt was becoming like hanging out with Sin, and like Sin saw good in Elfelt? Did it happen where Ram became a good guy and Elfelt was a bad guy in the end? Or is that like is Ram a good guy now in the story or in this game?
Yes, Ram became a good guy
And then
because she hung
Elfelt,
out with Sin and Kai and Soul.
okay, and then Elfelt was like the just
And then Ethel gets taken away at the end. That's
okay,
like that's like
okay.
the very
Does she get
that's
taken
like the
away
short
by
breakdown.
like supposed to be like the what's that guy's name? Who's the main attack? It's that what's his name?
That man, yeah.
That man, right? Is it that man that took?
It's that
apparently?
Ethel gets taken away and then Soul goes to fight him. That's pretty much like the easiest breakdown I could give you.
And then Eno and Jacko were just workers for
Eno, Jacko, and Raven all pretty much worked for that guy.
Raven was sick. Okay,
that character will probably never ever come back, but Raven was so sick, dude. Raven was so cool.
Did he die in the story?
No, I just can't imagine they would want to put him in another game. That's all,
You Crockett and Candoff, man. I like his stance when he does that weird, like the little, like this, like waving his hands back and forth, dude.
Yeah, Raven was super cool. I don't think he'll ever come back though, but he was tight. Raven was a very cool character.
Was Dogro using him for a little bit, or some Japanese player was using him, right?
A lot of players were using him. He was the beast, man.
All right, that's sick. And
I can't wait to see what the characters are for that game. I think just the way that the characters have ended up in this game is so cool. I can't wait to see what they do with them.
Yeah, he did that, right? He waved his hand and licked the pins and shit. That was sick. All right. And do you think Tekken is making the right decision with making original characters be DLC packages as a way to experiment with character kits? You lost me. I'm sorry. I'm going to read that one more time, and I'm pretty sure Vince will get it before I do. And do you think Tekken is making the right decision when making original characters be in DLC packages as a way to experiment with character kits? Should other games follow? Colin asked the question, by the way.
Thanks for the question, Colin. Yes, I do. I think that putting new characters and trying new things with that is a pretty good way to do stuff. If the character designs were shitty, I would be pissed. But like, despite how good these characters are, like Leroy and Fakumram, like they're pretty fucking tight. Like they're excellent character designs. Their kits are interesting. So I don't think that's a problem, And my whole thing before was these new characters are a way to test stuff for the next game that they're gonna make. But at this point, they just keep pumping out seasons and stuff, and maybe we actually won't get a new game from them for a while. But that was kind of the reasoning behind it. You got to think that like Fakumram was a test for Sagat, right? He's the same kind of build, same kind of style fights. Leroy has experimental moves. You get one per match. Things like that. It's like you're trying new mechanics in hopes of putting them to another game, maybe. And personally, I don't have a problem with it. It's just
I think they're cool.
The balance is the hard part. That's kind of the thing that's making people hesitant. But imagine if we didn't get Evo Japan top 8 and it didn't have 6 Leroys in it. Would we be more okay with his design then?
7 Leroys,
probably.
Yeah, I think man, Fakuram and all these new characters are really cool. But it's also
I don't know about this new one they're doing, but so far the new characters have impressed me a lot.
It's Christy.
As somebody who hasn't, isn't that invested into Tekken, I think the new characters are very interesting.
No, they're cool, man. They're really cool. I think I think it's a good idea. I don't know.
The only time it becomes a bad idea is if you have something like MK where you have Deception and all the new characters are just whack as fuck, besides like Havoc. If we ever get to that point in a fighting game, that's the point where you should never do that again. But so far, the new designs for these characters seem pretty good to me.
Dude, remember? Anyway, yeah. No, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea, man. It does suck like back in the day where like, oh, these characters were all time release or they were already in the game and you just unlocked them. But now, I feel like it's good because now we are in a future where we can add things to the game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like again, that's like the old school mentality. It was like, oh, remember, here's Third Strike, you deal with Chun-Li for like 9 years, you know what I mean? Here's Vanilla, Vanilla's when it started to change. So, Marvel 2 was the same, all the older games. But we're lucky to have these games now that they can change them, man. They can change them, and unfortunately, you have to pay for these characters now. But it's amazing what we can do now with these games. Is that they They can add things. They can change the game into something different. They can change something. If something's wrong with the game, they can take it out and change it and make something else broken. You know what I mean? The fact that the still is they can change the game, meaning that they can add characters in the game. So even though you'll probably never get Christy ever again, there's like a 1 in a million chance that she might somehow get in the game. Somehow
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility that she can get in the game. Because you know that there are people on Twitter that have Christy and June as their fucking avatars and shit that are praying. You know what I mean? I got my character in the game. I don't even use them. You know what I mean? It's just that what's going on. Excuse me. It's just we're lucky to be in this time where they can fix something and add stuff in the game. So I think it's a great idea.
It's shit that you could have never dreamed of before. You would never be able to dream that a game that you like to play could get constant updates like this. It's some shit that you would never imagine. And you know, we're living in a timeline where it's possible.
And it's up to you. I mean, they're not telling you to spend the money. They're optional characters that you can play, that you can buy or not. If you don't want to buy them, don't buy them. And you know, you're lucky enough that some games have some in-game currency that you can buy characters with. You know what I mean?
For all the things that you know, that game, you know, it could be any game, did wrong. That's one of the few things that they absolutely did right. I think.
And then that game gives you options to get fight money. Street Fighter 5 gives you quest and daily missions to gain fight money that you can pretty much, you know what I mean? So it's 100%. And then it's, if you're playing the game and you want to get better and you're complaining, like, oh, like, you know, you're running into a character that you can't beat. And if you want to get good in the game, you're going to have to buy that character, man. That's just... For
people like us, you know, buying these characters is not really optional. But for some people out there, you could probably get away with getting them.
Yeah, for TOs, like, fuck, you have to. But also for
people that want to compete, for people that want to run events, you absolutely have to get them. But you know, for regular people, if you don't want to buy them, you absolutely don't have to do it. So we're living in a time where that's a possibility for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Mike. Wow.
Yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Mike. If not, you can let me know.
Would you rather eat an entire pack of hot dogs or an entire pack of buns? Both 8 packs. Do what you must do. Must to them, and no sub and protein. Or I'm sorry, subs for protein or carbs.
Sounds like a regular night at TTF, anyways, man. Give me the hot dogs.
There's times at TTF where I'll be drunk as fuck. Fuck, there's no more hot dogs. Fuck, I'll just munch on this bun, dude. But dude, I don't know.
Give me that 8 pack of hot dogs, man.
I don't know if it's like a white thing or if it was just like we're poor growing up. We're not poor, but you know we didn't. But sometimes, fuck, I get a hot dog thrown in the microwave as a kid and just eat that shit, man. Like
that's dinner for us for a lot of meals too, man. Shout outs to the struggle, dude.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I don't mind hot dogs. Hot dogs are good, man. Man,
give me the hot dogs every time, dude.
No, some. I mean, like when I you know, a couple weeks ago when I started streaming again constantly, someone like, it was like late for 3 a.m. It was either like Josh or Grimmy. Someone was like, man, it's like, I do miss those late night, like 3 a.m. hot dogs, you know? I'm like, fuck, man. Like, that shit's badass, dude. Dale, what games are you looking forward to play or replay this year besides Guilty Gear Strive, of course? There's a lot of games coming out, man. Fucking, there's not a lot of games coming out. I still want to play Demon's Souls for the PS5. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 8. I want to beat Cyberpunk if it lets me beat it. I just beat I just beat Breath of the Wild today. You know, I did all like 100% run, and I even though I got 100% on that game, I want to go back and still do some stuff.
It's a cool game.
It's a beautiful, man. There's only one thing that I don't like about that game. It's not even a big deal, but there's like one, like, you know, it's just like the fanboy, like, I wish this would have happened in the end of the game, because it would have been sick, man. Like, but then I saw the trailer for part 2. I'm like, all right, cool. But there's like,
good question, Trey. You should put it in the Discord.
So Demon's Souls I want to play. Resident Evil 8 looks really cool to me. Not because of like the fucking big titty vampire women and the meth head Eastlake girls, you know. That game, it looks like a cool game, man. I like Resident Evil 7. It was a really cool game, and just to see what the lore is, because even though that game's like getting wackier and wackier, it seems like they're still holding on to the Resident Evil storyline.
They're trying to, at least. They're trying their damnedest.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that, I thought Bloodborne 2 was coming out, man. I was about to fucking have brain aneurysm.
It really looked like a different game. I was pretty surprised.
And then it showed the umbrella thing, and I was like, this isn't real, man. And it was just like, holy shit, man.
What a strange direction to take it, right? But I mean, it seems like it's going to be good. Resident Evil 7 was a weird direction to take it. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, but what I want to know is, dude, like Chris, dude, like I'm interested in like, is this like, dude, people might not like that, but me, I'm like, dude, this guy's been through hell and back, man. Like, what's going on with this guy, man? He like fucking. He kidnapped.
He's Ethan to fuck his sister, dude. What's the problem?
He kidnapped Ethan's kid and shoots Mia, dude. It's like, dude, the Capcom shooting the Marvel Infinite.
that one was good. That was really good. I can't wait to see how that game fleshes out, man. Dude, I'm not gonna be able to play it, but
I'm sad that I wish the merchant, the Resident Evil 4 merchant came back, because it's like some. I mean, it might be cool. It's like some fat guy now, but
you'll get to see him in the remake, man. Don't feel too bad.
I was hoping to hear the voice. You know what I mean? I thought that was like when it showed the end, you saw the stuff. I thought you were gonna hear the "What are you buying?" I was like, "Fuck." I can't think of any other games that are coming out. I guess Breath of the Wild 2, but who knows when that comes out? Metroid Prime 4, who knows when that's gonna come out? Final Fantasy Remake 2, we didn't get no news for that. Like, there's a lot of games that the games that I want to play are games that I don't know if they have a future yet. You know what I mean? Like,
you're kind of waiting on announcements for that.
Yeah, so that's about it, man. Strive. I can't think of any fighting games that are new coming out besides Strive, like you said. Diablo 4, I guess. Diablo 4 looks pretty cool. I don't know. The Rogue, man, that Rogue trailer was really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when yeah, that Rogue trailer looked really cool. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things coming out, I guess. But like I said, a lot of the games that I want to play, I don't know if they have futures yet, because it's been, I don't know how long it's been since Remake Part 1 came out, but we haven't had any new news of Part 2. They're just putting things into Part 1 and I'm not gonna lie when I say the mobile shit. The Crisis Core shit is pretty cool, because they're putting all the Crisis stories into one thing. And if you haven't played any of the Crisis stories, those things are actually really cool. Like the whole, like you know, before Crisis Core, all the like the Zack and Turk shit. The Turks are really cool, man. That's all I gotta say. Like, are they bad guys? It's one of those things. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's, well, I mean, I can, but yeah, Vince, anything? Are you looking forward to anything? Warcraft 3 Reforged, you know? Dude, Diablo 2.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, the only thing I think, Darkest Dungeon 2. That's probably the only thing.
Is there anything?
I don't really play a lot of games.
Did they show anything new about that game?
No, they're kind of taking the same approach they did with the first one and not really revealing anything. And they're probably just gonna drop it at some point. They're gonna be like, "Yo, guess what? Like, go fucking play it." Like, that's probably what's gonna happen this time too. Besides that first teaser, which looked really cool, there hasn't been much.
They revealed a waifu, right? An ET waifu or something as a class, or no? Was that for the last one? I think Mitchell,
you might be thinking of the older one. The only thing they've shown so far is the Plague Doctor, Man at Arms, Grave Robber, Occultist, and the Highwayman so far. So people are wondering if the Crusader's even in the game. People are that's kind of like the big speculation right now.
Yeah, I feel like Mitchell or Toki like posted something about like a ET waifu as one of the classes, but yeah, man.
I think that game's gonna be really cool. I can't wait to play it when it's available, but I mean, I just don't know when it's gonna be, and that's by design from them. So
yeah. When's the FF7 Battle Royale stream? I'd play it if it wasn't a mobile game, but unfortunately, it's a mobile game. I'm not gonna try to. I tried to play Fortnite on a phone, and I almost killed myself. That shit is fucking. I don't know how. There are pro players that play that shit on the phone, and I'm not gonna get into the mechanics of that game, but it's I would kill myself if I had to play that game.
That's a good question, Dre. You know, if he's not in the game, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, there's the darkest lore monsters are saying maybe they're the ones that died at the end of the first one, is the Vestal and the Crusader, and that's why they haven't shown them. But you know, it's a theory craft, and that's something I don't like to do too much. So we'll see what happens when the game drops. But there's people that are doom about it.
Theory crafting sucks when it comes down to a game that you really like. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do it. Like I'm gonna tell you right now. There's no, you know, the game's been out for 4 years. Like, what I really wanted from Breath of the Wild was the Ganon fight was really cool. Right? Like, you fight this weird fucking mutant Ganon, and then in the end, in the field, you fight the pig Ganon, right? Like, the true form of Ganon is like the pig. But what I wanted was, you know, after I thought it was gonna be like a 3-phase fight. You know, you fight him, you beat pig Ganon, you think it's over, but then like you turn around and like the humanoid Ganon. I wanted humanoid Ganon because I think he's one of the sickest bad guys.
I think he's really cool too.
But he wasn't, like, spoiler alert, he it wasn't in the game. He like after that, I was like, this is it. I was kind of sad, man, because I really do think. Because, you know, you know, when you do the side quests, they talk about how, like, you know, the Gerudo waifu champion is like, oh, I need to beat him because he took a form of a male, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? All this crazy shit. But then you watch the But you watch the trailer and then you see like that weird zombie gang, you know what I mean? And then that's when the theory cracked. What's going on, man? This looks sick. But it was sad for me playing that game because in the end you didn't run into like the old. Nah, I don't think the old form is. I think he's gonna come back in part 2. But anyway, like if you play Twilight Princess, like you think, oh, he's not gonna be in this game. But in the end, it's like, guess what, motherfucker? It was me the whole time. It's oh shit, there he is. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, theory crafting in games, that shit sucks, man. Like especially fighting.
It can be a good way to pass time, but
Yeah. But especially fighting game theory and crafting, man, I had to sit through so many. Shut up, man. It's like, well, I think this one Marvel 3 theory crafting was the worst, man. And I had to sit there and listen to that shit. The fifth feather. Anyway, what is Chili Sprout's real name? I know his real name because of
Dean Charles.
Dean Charles, because of donations and because of Smash, GG, and other things.
I know his real name because he bought a TTF shirt, but it's Dean Charles.
But if you want to know his real name, it's up to you, man. It's the mystery. What is Dean Charles's real name, dude?
Yeah, his name is Dean Charles. So
and what is his sister's Twitch account? You know what I mean? But anyway, next question. Kadar. What was Vince's last tournament he entered and he grinded and for try? Excuse me. And for try harder offline proven.
Good question, man. I would have to assume it's an Emperor's Cup because I care about my teammates, but I don't even know if I can answer that question.
Probably
it's been a very long time though. Any of the Evos, I tried pretty hard for Street Fighter V Evo, and that game was just it was miserable basically the whole time. So after that, it was it was pretty hard for me to care about that. Oh yeah, if we're talking about that, UFS, if it's not fighting game related, it was that. It was definitely UFS Worlds, and we almost got top 8 in teams for that, but we're like 1 win shy of that one.
That's cool. Yeah, Kadar, if you ever wanted to see Vince, I've seen, I think how do I say this? Team tournaments is where I've seen Vince the hardest. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's crazy, dude. Team tournaments are also crazy because I know some people see it as in, oh, don't worry about it, man. But a lot of people, I guess, take it like seriously because someone is relying on you. You know what I mean? Like, even though, because every time I play team tournaments and we lose, I always feel like I did something wrong. You know what I mean? And there's players.
Yeah, it's hard to not put it on yourself, even though there's obviously a couple more people. You want to play your best for them also, not just because you want to do well, it's because you want to take the team higher. So.
And if I ever find that Twitter post that Dominion did about team tournaments for SBO, that was a really good Twitter post, man. Like that was like one of those Kobe Bryant, like fucking, like, you know what I mean? It hurts, dude. It takes a toll on people, and there are people that are not afraid to talk shit about their teammates, like Tom. You know what I mean?
Dre brings up a good point, dude. Me and Dre, we were training night and day to destroy all the snacks that he brought in his backpack, and I can say we came away from that one with a win. So that was another good one. But yeah, definitely team tournaments in the current day and age. It was for various reasons. You know, some of you know, some of you don't. It was pretty hard for me to get motivated about fighting games. But team tournaments, I would always at least try my best for them, whether it be for Street Fighter 5, 4, all that. I was pretty disillusioned with Street Fighter 4 towards the end too, but I still tried for the team tournaments.
But never forget though that me and Vince got like 3rd place in a Street Fighter 5 team tournament. We lost the first game, and that shit was.
We got fucked up our first game. We made it all the way back to 3rd.
Dude, me and Vince lost, and we just split up. Like I went that way, Vince went that way, and then we ran that.
I've never seen two people be more upset than we were at that point in time. So
besides no, I can never remember this.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
There's
with
a lot of funny. Me and Gerald, but no, that goes for like a team. Like that's like it's up to you. Like it matters who in team tournaments. I'm gonna say what's gonna top. Like the people take it very differently. Like me, I always feel like I let my team down.
Like, it's really hard to not feel that way about it. And,
even if I
second part of that question, it looks like will I try hard with Strive? Yes, I will. I'll do my best for that. I think that now especially it's really hard to be motivated to play fighting games day in day out because a lot of us are used to offline, and online just absolutely does not scratch the same itch. But in order for the scene to keep going and for people to be interested, you got to give them a reason to be interested. And I think that if I enter more tournaments, do more commentary, things like that, I might be able to give that drive to people to keep playing, to keep caring about fighting games when it's really hard right now. So I'm going to try my best with Strive, and hopefully it's a good enough game where I can, keep playing it and keep having fun. But we'll see what happens when it comes out. That's the big question that we are going to have right now.
Yeah, it's set up for the Emperor's Cup. Justin let me down. I'm just no,
Yeah, it was
but no.
Justin.
Besides that, though, I'm just saying that a lot of people are not afraid to show their feelings during team tournaments. Like I'm gonna say, like I've been teammates with Tong. You know what I mean? And that's like there's a thing. Like I'll just say the story now. There's a team. Me, Legati, and Tong were on a team, and that team sounds like it should be unstoppable, but we did not do that great. When I say that, if I was to tell you that I was the reason why that team won half its matches, that's some like I wouldn't believe myself. And it's funny because
it's absolutely how it happened. Though.
It's funny because the Facebook memory pops up once a year. Tong messaging me, "How the hell did we lose last night?" I always smile at that because I remember that tournament because we lost to Greg and Sam, or we lost to Sam, but Chris and Tong lost to Greg, and I beat Greg. Then Tong was trying to talk shit to me, and I told him, like, you have no right to talk shit to me right now. Yeah, it was one of those, like, it was so funny. But those were like those that was like how it was, man. Like there are some players.
It's absolutely more important than the people on your team. Yeah. Like that's not the whole thing about team tournaments. It's not the people who are playing. It goes deeper than that. Yeah. And if you've never been in a tournament like that, you would never know. Yeah. But being good players is not all it takes.
That's what I brought that up because Kadari said that. Because I remember one time for a Tekken 6 tournament at Super Arcade, they were having a 2v2 and a singles, and MYK said, "I need a partner." I know MYK and everything, but I didn't really, it was whatever. And I said, "Hey, like, oh, I'm ready to win this tournament. You know what I mean? I'll partner." And when I showed up, he's like, "All right, we're gonna play." And I was like, "Oh, sure, you serious? Dude, we went fucking 0-2, man. We lost we went like 1-2." And I sucked at Tekken 6. That was my worst Tekken, and he was fucking good. And then he ended up winning like the team tournament. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things. You know what I mean? That's a true story. But you guys are laughing. You guys are laughing, and you're being serious.
It's true, man.
It's true though.
That's how it goes.
And then there's it's how it goes. And then there's people that joke about that too, man. There's people that joke about that. That shouldn't be joking about it. You know what I mean? But I'm not. That's like asshole Cody to going back in that day. You know what I mean? Yeah, you lose the team, but you get like. You win the singles. I went 0-2 and I got like top 8 in singles, and there was like 60 fucking people there, man. It was crazy, dude. But it's how it happens. We lost to Sean, dude. We lost to Unconk, dude. His Kuma and Panda fucked us up, man. True story. Yeah. Where was that? That was Vince. Okay. Also, a tournament I remember Vince playing. I mean, he played in I know he played in the Big Kahuna, one Big Kahuna. And then I remember he won a tournament. I laugh at, it's funny that story because I always laugh at him. But I do have that bracket. Vince won a Big Kahuna, not Big. That'd be cool.
That would be fucking cool, man. Let's be realistic though.
And he beat Chad in that low roller. That's all I'm gonna say, dude. That shit's funny. But
that guy terrorized a lot of brackets, man.
Every time he tells that story, he'll always mention that I laughed at him when he said that.
When you heard the results, he laughed. But,
I hear Gerald like, remember when you laughed at Vince? I'm like, you shut up. And I spent like a whole day looking through my old challenge account looking for it.
And a lot of people might not know this one either, but I'm the winner of the biggest Hearthstone tournament at TTF. Dude, also.
Yeah,
don't forget that.
Yeah, man.
Everybody else in that tournament besides me got legendary. By the way, that's all I have to say about that tournament.
Do you remember when Jaiwe's girlfriend beat Will? That match. Besides that match was sick because she top decked a Soulfire, and that was so. And Will just died inside, dude. But we're all around.
I can watch the hope drain from his eyes, dude. I'm like, it's okay. I'm at 4 health. I'll be all right.
We had a good couple of months of Hearthstone tournaments, man. Uncle Matt would come down. Dude, that was so sick, man. Damn. Oh, that was good.
There was a lot of funny TTF moments, but I'm a multiple game TTF winner, dude. But not much more than that.
So, Dale, do you think we're kind of talking. Okay, do you think dick riding for rollback, it is an improvement, but still is going to lead to more people being lazy / not willing to go for locals offline when it's possible again, or is it too? What's that word? Pessimistic. What was that?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic. What is pessimistic? What does that mean?
The opposite of optimistic. You're real down, negative. The attitude I have to a lot of things. That's the easiest way I can put it for you.
Okay, got it. No, that's perfect. Kind of thinking long-term effect, but of course, answer. Oh, okay. I'll answer however you want. Vince, what do you want to think about that?
Yeah, I can take that one first. I'm not sure.
It's cool, man. Not a lot of people are afraid to admit, man. It's all good, man. I don't mind.
Yeah, nobody can know anything. You got to know what your strengths are. So, but anyways, on to the question. Have you ever played a game with good netcode before, Dale? I don't know if you're still in here. I'm going to assume that you haven't, but even the best netcode in the world is not a substitute for offline play. So I don't think this is going to replace anything, but it is going to make it possible for us at least to play the games that we like. So the good news is, as soon as events come back, people will most likely go to them. At least the people who are serious about it, because the big competitions and stuff, I can't imagine they don't go back to offline at some point. So the people that really care will go back to offline events. They'll find that. But for the people that don't, they're going to have something that they can at least use as a replacement instead of what we have now, where people that play Tekken 7 just want to kill themselves playing online. And like I said, I'm going to assume that you did not play the beta also, so you don't actually know how good the rollback was. But it was.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Dale I know Dale played the beta, but like I said, I don't know if we can tell. But yeah, Dale played the beta. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you did, then yeah, you'll even then with the best netcode in the world, it's not a replacement for offline events. So I don't think that offline is in jeopardy, but it's just going to be something that we're going to be able to use for tournaments now. We did play the beta, so okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure. There's a lot of people that didn't play it because they didn't get the beta in time. They thought they were going to be able to sign up for the last day or not, but yeah, I don't think that it's going to replace anything or make people more lazy. They're already lazy enough as it is. The people that want to go out to events are going to go no matter what. They're going to find a way.
Yeah.
They're going to find the fight pages, even if it says Jason Derulo. They're going to find forum posts. They're going to find Reddit posts, and they will go to offline events when they come back if they have the drive to. I don't think that this is going to prevent any of that stuff. If you're really motivated to go out, you'll still go out.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. When you look at the people that were going to TTF, there's not a doubt in my mind that all those people that were going to TTF, there's not a doubt in my mind that if they had a choice between offline and online, that they would play online. Those people were at TTF for a reason, unless you're fucking Kadar, you know what I mean? But that's like I don't know. But that's we were talking about that earlier, Dale. The whole like, are there going to be those people, to see me online? I don't want to go out. Why go out if we have online tournaments? But I hope that hive mentality doesn't work, because then it's gonna then if that truly is a thing, which I don't think will happen, hopefully, because I can't tell you how many times I hear people in my chat and other chats saying they miss offline and locals. But if that does somehow become something terrible, then it would probably kill offline. But I mean, I don't see it happening. And
at this point, I still don't see it. I don't think that even if like the big online pots for tournaments, like let's say they move to online. Let's say they start announcing more world tours. They're all online, things like that. I can't imagine that the interest would be the same for those as they are for offline stuff.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not a one-to-one experience to offline, and I just don't think it's a replacement, no matter what happens.
But and then again, it's just hard at the moment, because when are offline events going to come back? Because I mean, COVID. I mean, yeah, there's these the vaccines are coming around, but you're gonna still have the anti-vaxxers. There's a lot to.
I see him every fucking day trying to come into my place of business, and it makes me crazy. And I would not expect any events until next year still, but I'm at least hopeful.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful, but Comic-Con already announced that they're not having it, so what's the next big thing? So I mean, it's just
Oh, you're thinking worst case scenario, Dale? Yeah, it would take so much more than this to kill the offline scene. I think if worst case scenario, we're stuck like this for another 2-3 years, maybe something like that might happen.
Yeah, but I'll probably be dead, so I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, we'd probably just be dead, and we got less things to worry about than that. But it would take a lot more than this to kill the offline scene for a lot of things. Even now, you're still seeing some of it. Some places are running offline events and things like that, and some of the big stuff I think will still be. Assuming we get something at the end of this year, maybe there's talks of people trying to run stuff at the end of the year, like December.
All I gotta say is that
they want to do offline, so I just don't know. It really depends, but I can't see a scenario where we move to all online.
Porkchop had his things, and they opened up again, and then he got COVID like a couple weeks later. It's one of those.
Technically, he got it from work. That's what I'm hearing. But the fact of the matter is that it still happened. There was still locals. People would running around with no masks and shit. It's a real bad look.
There's people
so
that
don't do that.
Yeah, there's people that been to TTF that had the flu. You know what I mean? There's people. Oh, I have the flu. I mean, yeah, motherfucker, you should have stayed in, man. You have the fucking flu, dude. Like.
How people are more conscious now than they were then, but that's just
those are probably the people that are laughing at everyone wearing, like the foreigners wearing masks at tournaments. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. It's like it's crazy, man. And this is from washing your fucking hands. All you have to do is wash your hands. And I've seen Punko many fucking times not wash his fucking hands at multiple tournaments. I always tell Vince and JFlo that this motherfucker didn't wash his hand, and at the
Not once.
At SCR top 8, you can hear me scream at Rickster, "Don't shake his fucking hands, dude." Because that dude
He still did it, dude. It was a hard thing to watch, man. It was pretty gross.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's gonna take a lot. I think to kill offline, and I think if it's something that if we're stuck indoors for like another, like Vince said, like fucking a long more years, I think it would kind of suck. But I mean, I still have hope. You know what I mean? But still, the last thing that came out of Pandora's box was TTF, so there's still a chance maybe. But worst case scenario.
Yeah, long term effects. Good netcode is an improvement for online stuff only. I don't think it's gonna do anything to the offline scene.
Yeah.
At least I hope. It would have to be like incredible. Even for as good as the Strive's netcode is, it's still not a replacement for offline. There's still things that happen. You get hiccups every once in a while. You can still tell you're playing offline despite how good it is. There's not gonna be a replacement, at least for most of us, for offline. That's kind of I've seen it a lot, but I think it's important enough to reiterate. I think
your internet can still die. It can have perfect netcode, but that's not your servers can still tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, there's no replacement for the energy and the feeling that people have during an offline events. Everybody crowded around monitors, things like that. It's something that's not. It's not a one-to-one thing online. No matter how interesting the matches are, how good the commentary is, how good the chat is, how funny the shit is on screen. It's just not the same experience.
Yeah. Drake, when are locals coming back? Phil's beard, man. How did you get that emote in the chest? Funny.
Because he got Nitro Discord, as a gift, so he can put emotes wherever he wants, at least for a few more days.
I don't have emotes, but I don't know. I feel like we can just transfer all the emotes from these non-secret Discords and put it into this one. Anyway, Drake, the honest answer is that I'm kind of I don't want to be the guy that opens up and like it happens at my house. Like that's I just want to be safe. And I want the roof to be fixed. I don't care about like the ceiling because the ceiling's fucked up. But as long as the roof is fixed, that's a big step. And luckily there's if SRK Killer, he's in the chat. He's giving me a number. I still need to call it because there is still kind of things going on in my life at the moment. I mean, like not having being jobless is currently one, but it's just
one,
but there is and apparently from this guy's like, oh, he's a cool guy. So the main goal is just to get this guy out here and just give me an estimate, and then we can work on that because we do have the 7Gs. It's like 600. So it's like rounded up. It's like we have the 7Gs from the GoFundMe, which is down for some reason. But we have the 7Gs to work with, and once we find out like a real number, we can start working on that. But my main goal would be to COVID's over the whole. Because I mean, like I said, dude, like it can be the next year we're allowed to open shit up, and then the one guy that has it just comes. You know what I mean? It's just I know it's like probably like a 1 out of a million scenario type of deal.
But it's something you have to consider, no matter how the odds are. You have to, if you're running an event, if you're having people over, if you're doing stuff, you have to always take these things into consideration.
Because like I said, there have been people at the house that they don't wash their hands, they come sick, like really sick. You know what I mean? Like. And it's like, why are you here, man? Like, it's just people just have no.
Like I say, hopefully, people are more conscious now about it. I think that they are. Oh, hold on, Dale. I just read that. How to convince people to appear in online to come out is if you have a stream, the best way to do it is to say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Visibility of your tournaments and streams is super important. There's a lot of people who have joined tournaments just because of that. We're like, hey, we're here. If you want to come out, do that.
I'm looking at
I still plug every single week during KI tournaments. I say, hey, when offline comes back, come to TTF. There's a lot of people from Mexico that are playing in these tournaments. I'm like, hey, if you can make it out up here, you're welcome at TTF. Just things like that.
Shouts to Javi's first podcast, listening when we're talking shit about that chick, and then like he just came out to that LDL tournament, man, and it's just like
stuff like that is very important. Yeah. The stream for your events is more important than you could ever imagine. There's people who came out to the old OFCs just because we had the stream. Like, oh, that's really close. I can probably make it to that. Stuff like that, just showing where you are, showing that you're having a good time, talking good things about your locals. That's still the best way to get people to go to your events. And no matter how good the online plays, if you make it seem like it'd be fun to play offline also, people will come out.
Yeah, and then Jed is a good example of that too, man, because of the stream. There's a lot of cool people that came out to TTF because of the stream. And I guess another one too also is fucking just Twitter. I'm I'm not really on Facebook anymore because that fight page is like cancer. No, I shouldn't say that word, but that fight page kind of sucks now. But
the visibility and the things you can do with Twitter seem to be better for the scene at the moment. Is what I'll say about that.
So that's damn Jake.
Thanks for the plug. You know,
so it's one of those things where it's like if you have a Twitter account and you do see people tweeting events like locals and shit, and you want to help out, it's not hard to hit like and hit that little heart and hit the little green retweet, help them out, man. Like don't be that guy. I don't like these guys. Like fuck, man. Like I'm not gonna retweet them. Because it's just like fuck. If that guy, even if the guy in the tournament, I don't like him, I'm still gonna retweet the picture. You know what I mean? It's like fuck it, man. It's an event. It's an event happening.
It's hard to not promote events if you know how hard it is to run events and keep people going to events. It's like you just do it, man. Even if you have the things you disagree with, you got to promote it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and all I gotta say is, it's just one of those things, man. Like if you throw any event in San Diego, if offline or whatever, I'll fucking go. It'll be. I've been to almost every like grand opening or tourney event. You know what I mean? I've been to every if you're gonna have something in San Diego, I'll come and promote it. I'll come and show up. You know what I mean? It's I don't think I've never missed out on any local unless it's on a Friday. I don't know. I'm not gonna say some guy is like, oh, you don't show support because you don't come out. And it's like, motherfucker, do you not know that I'm having TTF on Fridays? Fucking what the hell, man? I'm not gonna.
It's surprising,
You know what I mean? It's just one of the things. Like I said earlier, like there's been times I didn't have TTF and I went to fucking Dust Loop Fridays. You know what I mean? I went to fucking Money Pit. It happens, man. It's just I will never not promote a tournament in San Diego or talk about it or go to it. I'll tell you one thing. There's only 3 people when that Fanboy Gaming building or when Fanboy Gaming opened their new spot, which is a nice spot. There was only 3 people there. It was me, Jen, and Joseph, man. And that's like the day I remember that day too, because I quit my school job and Joseph and Jed hit me up and we went there and I had 5 Guys for the first time. You know what I mean? Then I ate a burger. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I'll never not go. I mean, I might just go once, but I'll never not support anything. You know what I mean? It's just I'll always support something. So if you want something good to happen, I'll never. I've learned a lot from. Like 15, like fuck, it was like the 15-year anniversary of TTF. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have one for, you know what I mean? It didn't hit me. You know what I mean? It's like it's been 15 years, man, and I've grown, believe it or not. As I've learned so much from running tournaments.
Yep.
From there. And like the mentality was like, I'm not gonna promote that event. Like I want my events to be the best. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about this event. I don't give a I want TTF to be the best. Blah blah blah. And then you learn, you talk to a lot of people. That's why I'm saying I look up to a lot of these players, man. Like you might disagree, but like I look up a lot back in the day to Mike Watson and fucking Alex Valley because I learned a lot from them. It's true, because in the end, these people want to see their scene grow. And I mean, sadly, they they butt heads and stuff happen, but it's you learn so much from these people, and then you learn that it's not about what you want. It's not you want TTF to be number one. It's about getting this scene together and becoming one. You know what I mean? It's just, you just learn a lot, man, and it's just I wish I had pictures from like the T5 and Third Strike days, because like, I mean, I know it's funny because I said it's the 15-year anniversary of TTF and I show like Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 came out in 2009. If you do the math, if you say 15 years of TTF, that's 2006, man. That's right after high school. I graduated 06 or 05, and I don't want to get into the history, but it's one of those things where it's like I was lucky to have my mom. You know what I mean? It was like it's a fuck up situation what happened, but in the end, it's because of my mom that TTF was a thing. You know what I mean? Because I worked at the arcade, and then we would have tournaments at Tilt, but we couldn't finish them on time because of because we closed. So let's go to Fridays, and I was just lucky that my mom would go to her boyfriend or now her husband's house on the weekends. You know what I mean? And then bam, Friday, let's just fucking play fighting games at fucking TTF. And then Street Fighter, we had Tekken 5 tournaments, we had Tekken, like fucking Third Strike. You know what I mean? but I didn't, I was a kid and I didn't have money, so I didn't have like these cool cameras and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck, man. Like I couldn't take any cool pictures. I mean, like Rip, all those guys, that filthy. Oh man, Tekken 5 was crazy, dude. But yeah, man, just like I said, like it's just it's. I'm glad to have my mom and my dad and shit, because that shit would have never happened. That would have never happened. Anyone, I can't see any. That it's when I think it's so crazy, like. Right after high school, you know what I mean? A year after high school, fucking, you have all these fucking people. And it's before it was fight. It was like you're partying. It's pretty much a party, with Street Fighter 4 and all these fighting games, man. And then I think it took a year or two, or no, it took like 4 years, I guess, when it became like super super big, man. You know what I mean? But we always had like Tekken 5.
Street Fighter 4.
But I mean, not even thanks Street Fighter 4. It's like Tekken 5. We would have big Tekken tournaments, man. And shouts to Markman, dude. Like Markman is also a big influencer for me back in the day, because that guy, he was like he was like I looked up to that guy. You know what I mean? And I remember in the stream he told me, like I was talking to the stream, and he's like, oh, this is like, he straight up said when he's like stopped not caring, but he stopped doing shit, like he couldn't. He said, this is the guy that just took over, man. He said, this is the kingpin. I was like, fuck yeah. But yeah, man. Shout outs to my mom, dude. Like TTF mom, man. And if you know her, she's a very loving and she's a funny person, dude.
A very supporting person for things that I would never expect.
My mom loves ET, dude. That one day she's you're like, hey, thank you, to tell your mom thanks for all the likes on the ET post, and she was like, she was like, oh, I like those, man. Like, all those sexy ladies, like, reminds me when I'm younger. I was like, god damn it, man. Like, thanks, mom.
Thanks, TTF. I'll be seeing this someday. Thank you for all the support over the years.
All right, sorry about that. So Golan, hot dogs, chili sprout,
Super Arcade bathroom versus TTF bathroom. Why was the Super Arcade bathroom always wet, dude?
Man,
at least the TTF bathroom was mostly
I walked in on Chet taking a shit, man. That's all I gotta say, dude. Taking a shit at that bathroom was horrifying, dude. One
of the worst experiences you could ever imagine.
You gotta hold it in and go to Jack in the Box, dude. And like, fuck, man.
If you can avoid that bathroom, you have to do it at all costs. You can't say enough bad things about that place. So
yeah,
good question, though.
That's crazy, Dre. Like when you realize, like, 06, man. Like, I mean, I don't take pride in drinking, like, we're early ages and everything, shouts to Marv, fucking, but it's like, damn, like we're probably doing a lot of things that a lot of people were like, wish, it was crazy, man. We pretty much had, it's all fighting and talking about, man, we had like parties every weekend, because like I said, my mom was just gone during Friday and Sunday, man. The house was ours, man. And then thank God I was in the fighting, man. Yeah, thank God I was in the fighting games, man. Jesus Christ, that could have just been something. Women and drugs. Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, TTF, dude. Yeah, I was reading the old posts and I totally forgot that. Remember, it used to not even be on Fridays for like a couple months. It was Monday and Tuesday. Monday was Street Fighter, Tuesday was Marvel, and then it became Monday, Tuesday. It wasn't. Wow, this is insane, man. And the house was packed. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, but that's in the past, man. And hopefully, like I said, I learned a lot. We learned a lot, and I'm like I said, I can only learn more. You know what I mean? I've grown from calling people the gay F word to just accepting a macro. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking funny, dude. It's crazy, and people love me or they hate me, man. And I take it with open arms, dude. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that could be a whole podcast too. I would love to have like a podcast and fucking, OFC, like have all the that was what I wanted a long time ago, was like all the OFC, like, you, Rico, Richard, and J Flow with, like, me, Dre, I mean, Crockett, like have a round table, you know what I mean? That'd
be an intense podcast, man.
When are locals coming back though, Drake? Sadly for TTF, it might be a while, man. But when I
see you next year,
when I want you guys to come back, I want you guys to come back to like something sick, a roof house. I want you guys to be able to go to TTF in the rain. You know what I mean? Like that'd be
nice, man. Remember that Hearthstone tournament, dude, where there was just rain coming down on the floor? That shit was cool. Dude, I had a good time.
It was like we were in the tavern, dude. It was outside real.
Great experience. I wouldn't wish it on anybody else, though.
All right. Would you rather have 5-year-old Kadar or 5 Kadars? I'm skipping that question.
Skipping that question, but 5 Kadars, so we could have 5 more people in every tournament.
Arcus said that. Yeah, there you go. What Vincent Arcus said. I can't talk right now. I can't read. Arcus said Today, they are currently exploring possibilities of implementing rollback netcode in their other titles. If you could pick two art games to get rollback, what would you choose? Zerd, BB, CF, BB. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of this, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Probably Zerd and Grand Blue. That's my two. Yeah,
it's hard to not say Grand Blue because it's the most recent, and
well,
I guess since they have the biggest scenes right now, I would say Dragon Ball would be a
yeah.
pretty good candidate for rollback because
Mhm.
there's still tournaments for that game all
That's
the
what.
time, and
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
supporting the players in that regard would be really nice. I think it's still getting new
yeah,
characters, still getting updates, things like that. So maybe I'd go Dragon Ball for sure,
yeah.
and since Blaze Blue is not going to get another game for a while, and they got this fucking mobile game, and they're probably all really sad. I'd say give Central Fiction rollback, dude. Give me DBFZ rollback. Give me Blaze Blue Central Fiction rollback, dude. The rest of them can burn in hell, but if you're gonna do anything, throw those guys a bone. And DBFZ being an active scene, give them rollback.
Yeah. So I think the fanboy in me was like, Grand Blue never had a chance, so I wish that game, and then like Zerd collects it. But Dragon Ball Fighter Z, since that is probably out of all the games right there, like that's the most played game, and still does have updates, it has updates, and it still has a big fan base. That game for sure. And I didn't know anything about that with BB, and I like BB, but I don't know.
Dude, can you imagine that there hasn't been a new game in like what 5 or 6 years, and they finally like, oh, we're making a new game, we're gonna announce it, and it's a fucking mobile game, dude. I would be so pissed if I was a Blaze Blue fan. I cannot imagine how that shit feels, dude. That shit would be terrible. So give those guys a break, dude. Give them rollback, man. Let them at least enjoy the game that they like instead of having I tried to play Leo Meyer in that game, and that shit was fucking horrible. Give them playable netcode, man.
I have that game too. If you look at my game, I have a lot of games.
You got it, man. It's on there.
I have the season passes too, and never forget. I spent money on Blaze Blue too, man. I bought Jubei. I didn't know that you had to buy him, but I
played Calamity Trigger when that shit came out, and yeah, man. And that's all I got to say about that. Give those guys something, dude. Give Blaze Blue players something.
Will you sue Kadar and Rodrigo when they try to start Tiki Torch Fridays in Hawaii? No, I'll support it 100%, man. I'll
retweet the stream.
I'll post it in the SD fight scene page, even though it's not in San Diego, and ban anyone else that tries.
If you ever have a Tiki Torch Fridays, if you guys start that, I'll be happy to do commentary for you. Just hit me up, dude. Yeah. My rates are very affordable.
But yeah, fly me out, dude.
But yeah, I'll see you there.
I bet they'll only put rollback in other old ass games, so probably. I mean, that
would be the likely candidate because they've had such success with Guilty Gear that I imagine that they kind of already have some of the base work done that they could do it on. It might be a little easier to implement in those games, but I'm just really not sure.
Yeah,
the tech side of that is something I'm still not 100% on. I'm learning more about it because it's such an important topic, but I'm still kind of ignorant on that, so I can't say for sure.
I feel like it's one of those two where it's just like, hopefully in the future fighting games that they understand that the developers understand that online is very important. Finally, but then again, is it going to be an important when once offline comes back? But when does offline come back? But then I also feel like that though a lot of those video game people, because when you think about it, all the people that have shitty netcode are all Japanese developers. You know what I mean? So
yes,
so I'm pretty sure they don't give a fuck about. They should care about us because we are the main. We're the main consumers of the game, but I don't think they see it. Yeah, you know what I mean? They
were very behind the times for a very long time. I think that the way that the Guilty Gear netcode has been received, like it really changed opinions on that because basically all they had to go off of before was how poorly Street Fighter V implemented their rollback netcode. So that's what they've been seeing for 5+ years straight is how bad rollback is, how it doesn't function, how you get constant frame skips, how it just disconnects you randomly. But now there's a game that showed how to do it the correct way, and that made a lot of people reconsider how important the netcode is.
Yeah, and also you
so
gotta remember,
even if Guilty Gear Strive is like the worst game ever in a couple months and we're all fucking hating it, at least it changed the way that they view the netcode, and if that's all it does, then that's the net win for everybody.
I feel like also you gotta remember too that they're thinking about their area, like nothing's wrong with our internet connection because if truth be told,
it works fine here, so it's fine. That's been the mentality for a very long time.
Yeah, that's exactly where it's going. You know what I mean? All right. So hopefully in newer games they implement netcode, man. So we'll see what happens, man.
It's gonna happen for KOF. I was skeptical about in-house rollback before, but seeing how Strive did it, it gives me at least hope that they can make it happen for other games too. You just really have to design the game with it in mind, and you got to really work your ass off on it. But if you do, you see how good it can be. So I'm optimistic for the first time in a while about that type of stuff.
Doesn't crossplay open up a bunch of legal shit with Sony though? I'm pretty sure
It used to,
Capcom were
but
it used to, but then just
it used to,
remember.
but yeah, they went back on that stance like pretty recently. So it's basically on the developers at this point to have crossplay stuff and to work stuff out on their end. If Street Fighter 5 can do it and that game is a huge mess, I think that other companies could do it also.
If you were to tell me that there was a game that has Batman, Wolverine, Ryu, Alien, Predator, and a bunch of other characters that you can play with people on the Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, computer, and your phone, I would call you crazy. But there is a game that you can do that in, and I don't see why not other people implement that. But I mean,
You can do it. It's a lot of work, but it can be done. You just have to show that the demand is there for things like that.
Fortnite. Anyway, so yeah.
No comment.
Long time viewer, first time asking 2 questions for the podcast. First question, have you ever considered naming an event in memory of the Queen Mika? And my second question is, if there is a 5v5 TJ versus SD, who are the 5 players that would rep SD? Like the content and okay, you like the like the content and let's kick COVID's butt. Greetings from Sherman.
Thanks for the question.
I got 9 here. I'm gonna give it 10. All right, there it is. Hey, thank you. You're in here, Tibio. So are we talking about Power Rangers? Are we talking about Street? Well, what game are we talking about? Are we talking about Street Fighter?
Or are you just saying in general?
Or yeah. Tell them about the grid. Shouts to Tibet.
I love watching those Power Ranger streams. That shit is so funny, dude. I had a great time, and thank you for the cool story time also.
Also follow his channel or I'll kill you. I mean, yeah, follow his channel.
We will kill you. We'll send guild, dude. You don't want that guy after you.
So before we get the second part, I don't know, man. That would maybe like a Mika Cup, something. I don't know, man.
I think that the stickers and the shirt, if that happens, are a pretty good way as memorials, if you ask me. So that's something.
Yeah, that's something. Hey, yeah, man.
Buy those stickers, by the way, or we'll cancel the scene.
We'll always cancel the scene.
Thanks for the link.
Did they say anything? I'm gonna assume that he means Street Fighter 5. I don't know what he. That's a good question though. And last time we had that, we lost, dude. We lost on July 4th. Never forget. Anyway, when I think of if I had to pick the 5 players from TJ, so obviously Alexis, obviously Alejandro, Mini Cats, I guess, because he's been putting a lot of work, and that guy's been supporting TTF a lot. Actually, it's pretty funny. He's been supporting TTF a lot. I mean, fucking Oscar, Duality, man, yeah, Oscar, dude, that match against that was so sick. And,
that was a lot of fun. Oscar really he made the tournament a lot of fun for me, so thank you for that.
And I hope you don't get butthurt to Bill, but probably Koopa if he's playing. So Alexis, Alejandro, Oscar, Mini Cats, and Koopa, man. And also,
yeah, I know Mini Cats, pretty similar.
I don't know if Richie's playing because Cool Richie is Mini Cats' brother. But both those guys support. I know Mini Cats has never been to TTF, but his brother has. But I mean, every time there's a stream or a tournament for TTF Online, Mini Cats is all about it. And then San Diego, Street Fighter 5, Alexis, Alejandro. I was joking.
No, yeah, that's a tough part. That's when it gets hard.
Richard, Javi, Corey, Alexis. So Richard, Richard, Javi, Corey.
Yeah. My boy Corey.
Richard, Javi, Alexis. No, goddamn, I keep putting Alexis.
It's so hard to not put Alexis in there, right?
Richard, Javi, Corey, and then the last 2 are like fucking. Oh, fucking Manny, and damn, Sean's been playing a lot. You guys don't know that, but sadly he's been playing. But Manny for sure, because when Manny did come back to SD, he was playing in tournaments and doing well. Damn, who's the 5th, dude? I don't know, man. When it comes down to the 5th, it's between like And when I think of players that still play, like me, Jed, and Joseph, since I'm older, you know me, I don't know, man. If I'm talking about players now though that play now, you know what I mean? Like I would put Tongan in season 1, but that's season 1. I'll probably put Lord Guillermo season 1. You know what I mean for TJ. I don't know, man. That 5th player though, I can't think of anyone that's not me.
You know, the TJ for me is basically a carbon copy, and then for SD we got Javi, Manny, Corey, Richard, and last one is, you know, I think I'd put Sean on there, but that's just me personally. It's basically
I'm
like
gonna
the
say
SD
Sean.
teams from before, right?
Sherry. I'm gonna say Sherry. Sherry's
Sherry, dude.
Alexis and Sherry. Yeah, Sean. It'll be Sean. I feel like Sean would.
Yeah, Twiggy. Don't forget Twiggy.
Twiggy.
You know what? You know what? Fuck Manny, dude. Take Manny out and then put
Twiggy.
And put Joseph in. You know, Manny, he's done. Put in Joseph. Boom. That's the 5. Oh,
And,
Mad King. That's another good one. You know.
yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, replace Sean with Mad King, dude. Make it happen. Ship it, dude. That's the 5.
Dread Dragon and Chad. I don't know, dude.
Dude, sir, dude.
X. I like how we took more time and serious for TJ. Yeah, in the end, probably Javi, Corey, Manny, Sean, Richard, and I don't remember the last one, Alexis, but yeah.
Twiggy.
Trash cans. Yeah. Who do you think is going?
See you on the grid. Yeah. See you in Germany, dude. The Germany to US connection hopefully is good. We'll try it.
Who do you think is going to win, Kong or Godzilla? According to the director, it isn't going to be a tie. There will be a winner. I think if you want to be, I think it's going to be. I think he's bullshitting. I think it's going to be something. There's going to be another higher power. You're going to get Kong and Godzilla. It's either Godzilla's Mecha Godzilla or he's brainwashed, or you're going to get Kong and Godzilla like hand-to-hand headlock, and then Mecha Ghidorah's gonna come out the volcano and like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know, but there are a lot of funny the memes where Godzilla fans explaining, and it's like a E equal M square and all that, and then it's just like the
Kong is just doing it. It's a monkey doing a backflip. Yeah,
slow motion.
Those are real good. Yeah, those are good.
But yeah, I don't know, man, but I'm looking forward to it, man, because that Godzilla King of Monsters, that movie was fucking sick, dude. Like,
it had no right to be as fun of a movie as it was.
Because people were just like, no. People complained about that movie, but in the end, when Godzilla fucked up King Ghidorah and Rodan and all of them bowed to Godzilla, or even like when Rodan first came out, and then like all the jet, like that scene was sick, dude. When he's fucking up Mexico and all the jet pilots are like trying to fight him, like that shit was intense as fuck, man. And
yeah, great movie.
And then they're trying to like lead him to monster, or like Ghidorah, and they lead him and they fly up, and then Rodan runs into him. It's like, oh, I fucked up like that. That shit was sick, dude. Oh man, yeah, that's cool, man. Ghidorah is such a sick monster. Like every shot he was in, when like the light, it was that movie was well made. That was sick, man. That was a
lot of fun.
KOF 15. Can we convince Cody to actually play? I played every KOF. Not like seriously though, but I took time and learned them. But it's one of those things where I'm happy it's coming out. I'll support it because I can't tell you all the late night TTF where it's Josh and Eric playing. There was always a PS3 for them to play. They're always playing it. Then you would have like J Smack and Drake would come by, and then they're playing it. Or there are people that people are always playing. That was that 13, Vince, KOF 13 that they're playing.
Yes.
Yeah, I love KOF 13. I think it's just because of like the art style and like how it looked. Even when 14 came out, I bought it the first day. I have the special edition thing. I have a poster right here. It's a really cool game, and it has a lot of cool characters, man. Like it has some of my favorite fighting game characters are in KOF, and I'll buy it, and I'll probably day one whatever character and shit, and I'll try it out. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, there are people that play that game that are KOF players, and my mentality when it comes down to shit like that is that this game is cool. I want to learn it, but I get my ass kicked, and it's like, do I really want to put time, especially when into this game, and like I'm already putting time into Tekken and Street Fighter and I guess Guilty Gear now. But it's a game that I most definitely will pick up and play. I mean, I'll enjoy it. Like I said, like some of my favorite characters in that game. Like, dude, Mr. Karate is one of the sickest fighting game characters. Or yeah, Mr. Karate and the homie Taka or what?
The character designs in
Yeah,
KOF is very, very
dude,
good, and
Miss.
the
Yeah,
whole thing about whether or not we can get anybody to play it is the game fun to play, man, and hopefully we get a chance to see more gameplay. The trailers we're getting now are not very indicative of how the game is going to play. You know, they're kind of just for flash and substance.
yeah,
But I would like to see like a real gameplay trailer from them before we can answer that question. It's going to come down to that
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Is the game fun? If it's accessible, if it has good netcode, that's going to help a lot. You see what it did for Strive.
Shit.
It depends on what they do with it, but if the game is fun, people will play it. If it's not, better luck next time.
Yeah. You put Geese and Mr. Karate in that game, I'll suck that game's dick. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, are people gonna play it? Because KOF is a hard game, man. I'm not gonna fucking lie, dude. It's a fucking hard game.
It requires a lot of different skill sets that most people are not willing to put the time into, and that's the thing. You know, if the game is worth it, they will. If it's not, then don't really fault them for playing it. But you should absolutely give it a fair shot.
Yeah.
If I gave 14 a fair shot, and that I couldn't do it. I tried. The characters I played were not fun. The game itself, I couldn't play it. Besides that TTF, so that kind of killed the drive for most KOF things. So if the game is playable in an online environment, which is most likely what we're going to have, if it's fun, if it's accessible, if it does things right, if the presentation's there, it'll survive. If it's not, it won't. Man, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. I hope it's good, but I need to see. There's a lot of things I need to see from that game to really be impressed.
Yeah. Um. I like KOF, man. Like I said, but it's mostly because I like the characters. Because I think,
The character design is fantastic.
like I said,
It's everything else that needs to kind of be
yeah.
there for me also.
Geese is like one of the sickest characters, and Mr. Karate has like one of the sickest stories. Like he had to make money for his dying dojo, and there's only one way, man. He had to become Geese's like right hand man, dude. And then he had to hide his shame. That's why he wore that mask, dude. And his kids could never find out that he's fucking killing people or just fucking people up for Geese, man.
Yeah, people say that fighting game storylines are not important. You can just throw them away. But
the
without
KOF story is
storyline,
sick as fuck, dude.
we would never have that. And like I said it before on the Vince cast, but we would never have one vision as a super if
it wasn't
Guilty
for
Gear did not have
Axel,
story
yeah,
mode
yeah, yeah.
of Axel being a time traveler.
Yeah.
That shit would not exist. So it's more important than you think it is.
Oh yeah. Do you think the anime kitchen could ever be an anime? Okay, I like this question because I thought about this a lot.
Very, very good question.
Do you think the anime kitchen could ever be the anime living room or anime shed area in the backyard if Strive offline at TTF does well enough? So my vision for the anime kitchen would actually be to get rid of the island, which is in the middle of the kitchen. If I can remodel the kitchen, I'll get rid of that, making more room. But if it got to the point where there is way too much people, I mean, I love the anime kitchen idea. It's so cool. But I would most definitely probably make room for if it ever. The rule of thumb was always the biggest game would get the living room. And then everything else was just the kitchen, the backyard, and like for a while it was the Japanese room up in the front. So, but then the anime kitchen everyone liked it. It just rolled off the tongue. Everyone liked it. I remember I've seen 5 setups in there, man. That shit's funny, dude. And there's always one guy that thinks the fucking sync works, but it's all good. But I mean, yes, there's a possibility. I remember a Facebook memory came out is when Tekken kicked Street Fighter 5 outside, man. That show's funny, dude. And you just Joseph looking back playing Richard, man. It's out in the cold, man. But in a perfect world, I would love to have everything like the backyard just have a lot more cemented area, a lot more level, a lot more cover, and there's a lot of cool things, man. That's something that it's a possibility, you know what I mean? Just gotta not be lazy and have the drive and the money and all that shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, Kodar, that's always been a thought in my head that's something, especially when you have big ass motherfuckers like Hudson blocking the only way into the house, and he always wants to stand right there to watch the games. You know what I mean? Oh, man.
His part is that way.
But no, that's perfectly like no, it's perfect. But I'm blessed. The anime kitchen is one of the coolest parts of TTF, man. I like it.
In an ideal world, we get to play again in the Japanese room, but we don't live in an ideal world, so maybe someday that would happen again. But games in the very front room is one of my favorite things about TTF, and hopefully that can come back too. I don't have much input on that, but that's what I would like to see.
Also, can we play shitty arena fighters, Demon Slayer? Yeah, I don't care. There's one time fucking Cody
There's,
brought
there's
Sonic
absolutely
fighters,
people that
dude.
will play that shit with you when offline returns. I can guarantee you that.
If me and Crockett can sit through playing Castlevania fighting game and him just using the fucking time stop, god damn it, dude. Yeah, it's possible.
It's absolutely possible. I've seen people play that Naruto game there. I've seen it happen.
Dude, fucking
I own 2 eyes, so
Dante.
Evo Japan Grand Finals in My Hero One Justice. It was played at TTF, if you don't know about that, and I won all the chocolate prizes.
Man, I was thinking about like if they did like a Dragon Ball Fighters like style for any anime game, that'd be so cool, man. If they took their time into like how I don't know like if Mike's in here, but Mike's told me, I remember Mike was talking to me recently about how, you know, he played Dragon Ball Fighters, but I remember he said that he was more about Dragon Ball Fighters because it's Dragon Ball and it's something that he loves. That's why he played it. You know what I mean? And to me, like, I love Dragon Ball, but it wouldn't make me drive to play that game. But like, if they did like One Piece or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like an anime that I really liked, and to like that, oh well, dude, like, yeah, see my fucking Crocodile, Doflamingo, and like Katakuri, you know what I mean? Like something like that, like, and that shit, or like, you know, if like a fucking, I've been on that Jujutsu Kaisen trip, man, and if they made a fighting game, that would be fucking insane, dude. Like,
You know, any kind of Shonen Jump like versus that actual fighting game, I think would be awesome. I don't think we'll ever get that because of how much effort it takes, but I would love to see something like that.
And I've seen so many cool like fan art of like that style fight. You know what I mean? Like the One Piece versus screens, like that. It'd be so crazy, man. Like
they made a 2D fighter for that game. It was just on DS, and you probably never heard of it. But that shit is fucking crazy. If you go and take a look at that, it looks like so much fun, man. I would love for that to be a real game.
Someone always posts once in a while the Doflamingo Infinite. You know what I mean? I was like, this is pretty funny, dude.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of pretty funny infinites, and you know that's how the basis of Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That came from a DS game that they did also. So, is it out of the realm of possibility for it to happen? Not really. Is it likely? Probably not.
Attack on Titan fighting game. Yeah, to see my 3 Annies, dude. Oh man, that dude. I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna do it. What happened to that? What happened to that manga, dude? Everyone sucks that show's dicks, dude. That show just fucking. I can't think of anything. I remember that Comic-Con that I heard about it, and I at that Comic-Con. I went home. We had a little barbecue at the house, dude, and I sat there and read all the chapters, dude, and fucking. This is so cool, and then it made a really. When you kill off characters that people like and people just when you kill a character off, make sure you kill this character off and have a reason and make it affect the story. You know what I mean? But yeah, that I don't know what happened. I mean, it's visually beautiful, but just story wise, is you have to be like retarded to like that. I don't get it, man. But anyway, we're almost done with the questions. You guys are awesome. It's been 3 hours. Like,
wow, really? That's like, I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
And imagine if we did do what, you know what I mean? And just never forget that one of my favorite nerd anime moments is when Aaron put fucking Rainer in the armbar, like that fight, dude. That shit was so sick. He reversed him, dude. He took what he learned and fucked him up. Still lost. And he still lost, dude. A Song of Fire and Ice would like a word.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that too, man. Like, man, damn. When I read that book, that dude, they killed my favorite character off right away, man. That character was too sick, man. Ned Stark is the best, man. Dude, yeah, and all the Baratheons. My dad likes Stannis a lot, man. My dad was all about Stannis, dude. Anyway, so also, yeah, fighting games. What's the best way to introduce the X-Men into the MCU in your opinion? In your opinions, for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I know they're doing a lot that I know they want to, and I know they're trying to figure it out, and they don't want to ruin it because a lot of people will get mad. So I don't know what any of the theories was for me, at least. I know Justin and me and Lagaya talked about it, but I thought WandaVision was going to be a big one because you know Wanda is not a mutant, she's a fucking sorceress. That's why I didn't watch the season finale, so I don't know if it's Mephisto or Dormammu who's the bad guy behind it. But you know, they did spoilers. So if you watch WandaVision and spoil about, I don't care. Because one of the episodes, Quicksilver came back and Quicksilver's dead, and they used the same actor as they did in the X-Men movies. So I don't know if they're gonna do the reverse version of House of M, where it's the no more mutant things. I know they were supposed to bring the Immortals into the mix, and that was supposed to be the mutants, but I just don't know, man, because they're killing the new mutants. The new mutant movies sucked, man. That it's so sad that movie sucked, because they're trying to build up Mr. Sinister, but they're fucking it up every time. So I don't know how they would introduce mutants, because that's just something that everyone's been wanting, man. And I've heard that the Blade movie coming out is PG-13. I'm kind of sad, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that either.
It's unfortunate.
And I also heard that Fantastic Four are also coming back, and from what I heard, how they're gonna bring them back is that they're coming back in the Ant-Man and Wasp is when they're supposed to come back, because they get lost in the quantum verse, and the lore is that
that's right.
Yeah, and then from the lore, what I heard is that this Fantastic Four is from like the 60s or something, and they get lost in the quantum verse, and then Ant-Man and them find them and bring them back to our world. And we're just hoping for a movie, a Doom that doesn't suck dick. You know what I mean? Because Doom is one of the sickest characters, in comics, and he just always gets fucked over. If we got a decent Thanos, why can't we get a decent Doom? You know what I mean? They always have to give Doom superpowers or some weird.
You'd think it'd be easy,
if you don't know, Doom is human. He's human, and he is he's magic, but still he doesn't have a mutant power.
Magic, and he's a scientist. He's smart and he knows magic. That's the base.
He can't make your head blow up. You know what I mean? Which was funny. That movie was funny because it was just blowing up everyone's head. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know, Josh. I don't know how we're gonna bring X-Men back, but it's just happening. But I don't know when. So. Team music, dude. If I have to recommend a comic book right now, Triumph and Torment was probably one of the. It's an older comic, but if you like Doom and Strange, it's really good. And then
it's absolutely worth a read, even if you don't like the characters. The way the storytelling is, the way the art is, just everything about it. It's very good. It's highly recommended.
And I don't know if it's like Siege or whatever. I think I was one of the newer comics. I never knew why. Like once a year, like Doom invites Reed Richards to dinner, and I never knew why. And then I read, and then you read that. And the end of that book is really cool, man. Like the whole, it's just it's really good. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know, Josh. Like I don't know what they're gonna do, man. But it's something big and it's coming. It's coming. Drake, what Sam Show characters? Oh yeah, I forgot what Sam Show. I know the Guilty Gear Sam Show are having a collaboration, right? So yep. What Sam Show character would you want in Strive, and what GG character would you like in Sam Show? So if like realistically, if I had to pick something from Guilty Gear, it would probably be like Johnny or Biken, right? That goes to Sam Show, and
it's super hard to not pick either of those characters, right? It's so natural, right?
They're both human, and they're both like swordsmen, the samurai and the swordsman, or maybe even Axel. No, Axel was time. Oh, I mean. Or even
hey man, if Earthquake could do it, why couldn't Axel, right?
Not gonna Yuki could make it. You know what I mean? Like that's such a cool character.
That's another one too. Is like introducing this big samurai character. It seems like it'd be a pretty natural fit. If I had to bet, I'd be betting on Biken or Nagaru Yuki to be in Sam Show.
Johnny would be sick if he had coins in Sam Show. Well, they put Geralt in fucking Sam Show, and he had magic, so I don't know why they wouldn't be able to give Johnny his coins. You know what I mean?
Are you sure you're not mixing up your games here, brother?
No, I'm sorry. They put him in Soul Calibur. Yeah. Soul Calibur and Sam Show are not the same. Fuck it. Well, they still put.
They are absolutely not the same game.
Yeah, but still, they put. Who cares? That can happen.
But guest characters can be done well if you give them the time and attention that they need. So I think any character could work, but it would be a more natural fit to have somebody with a sword.
And what Sam Show character would be in Strive?
That's the fucking hard question, man.
I would put what's his name? Genjiro, right? He's like the guy that just killed everyone in the tournaments.
Yeah, Genjiro. That'd be a pretty good one.
Genjiro, because he's a badass. Earthquake, because he seems like he can fit in there. And
it's hard to not say Haomaru as the flagship character, but I mean, if I had it my way, something like that, it would either be Earthquake or I think Shiki would be really cool to be in in Strive.
Which one is Shiki?
The girl with the two blades.
Okay. Oh, is she like the blind looking one?
The one that does all the crazy flips and shit.
Her super is like when she's like behind you, right? Like she's like she's like it's all like scary, and then she like
one that hits the full screen.
That's who Leomar used, right? I think Leomar used them. Okay.
Yeah, I think Shiki would be a pretty cool character to put in. Or Shiki or Earthquake. I would love to see Earthquake in that game. Just because Potemkin's so big, I think it'd be really cool to have Earthquake be another giant character.
I just would like to see the interaction with Soul and Genjiro, man. That'd be just like not giving a fuck.
There's not a lot of bad choices for that one. Yeah. I think that would be really cool.
Will we get it? I don't know. Yeah, probably not, but
I think that would be really cool.
Potemkin and Sam shit.
But Temkin and Samsho, that would be pretty tight. It's hard because he doesn't use the weapon, right? Well, like, how do you disarm him? That's the main question.
His
Is
fucking
you need to
his
have a weapon flip that they need to have. So, how do you do it? Is the question.
What is your favorite banquet TV dinner? Oh man, dude. The pot pies, dude. I can't go wrong. They're cheap and they're not that bad, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking the same thing without thinking too hard. I'm gonna go with that nice and safe one.
And then the last two, we got why did they make Zelda so thick in Breath of the Wild? I don't know, man. She's like 10 in that game, right? In all jokes aside, I don't know why, man. That last shot, her ass is like out of control. So I don't know why they did that. It's might be one of those like, white women in Japan. And then who at TTF would be a good fighting game character? Hudson, dude. Hudson and Drake, dude. They'll be like Chang and what's the big dudes? And what are those two characters? It's Chang and Choi, dude. Yeah, Chang and Choi, dude. Hudson and Drake, man.
Yeah, Hudson and Drake as a tag team. When we're talking about the TTF fighting game, it's hard to not put Crockett as a character. Crockett K-Sex, like.
Oh yeah, Crockett would be a diamond, dude. He would like, he would open his eyes and do the fucking super. Dude.
Yeah, there are so many more characters now that we could put into that than when we first had the conversation.
The
I think that could be
the Ferritor.
That could be a topic in of itself, So I don't know, but my answer was always, the big dudes at TTF, Crockett, K-Sex, Dre, like all those guys. The grapplers are always the easiest ones to design. So
yeah, that'd be sick.
Excellent question. Maybe someday we'll try that one again.
Yeah. And then yeah, that's it, man. Hell yeah, dude. Before we go, Vince, is there anything else you want to talk about before we end it?
Put Darlie Dagger in Strive, I guess. I don't know. That's all I got.
All right, right on. All right. So before
if you're doing a Sam Show character, put her into Strive, man. Let's make it happen.
All right. So before we end it, before we get into the hot or not, the bitch calling ET, there is going to be a podcast next Thursday, and if we would have had what we wanted or what we were going to do today, it would have lasted longer. So next Thursday, we're going to have a guest. It's Mike Gollin. I wanted to have a guest, but he asked today if he wanted to be in it, but I was thinking like maybe we could. I told him that I already had topics today, and I feel like it was gonna be long because we're gonna talk about Guilty Gear, and there's a lot of questions.
Thank you for the questions, by the way. You guys always come through.
And I also felt that if we had a podcast with Mike, we can get more questions and we can talk about the tournament and some other shit. I feel like that would have been like an hour or two right there anyway.
I think that's pretty good for that, yeah.
So next Thursday, we're going to have a podcast. Mike's going to be in it. We're going to have, we'll have Mike. We'll talk about the Marvel tournament that's happening. That's going to happen 2 days after that. It should be a good one, man. And so yeah, let's end it. And in good TTF nature, I will go last. And Vince, bitch on, hot or not, Ebony Goddess, let's go.
Hot or not, we don't get out very often these days, but shout outs to all the fast food worker waifus that we deal with when we get food these days, man. Shout outs to the girls at Taco Bell. They're my hot or not. There's a big sexy girl. There's a Princess Tiny Chest there. There's the whole gamut of women works at the Taco Bell here. And there's a Taco Bell behind the Taco Bell. So if you ever get a chance to go to the Escondido Taco Bell, you should go. But yeah, they're my hot or not. Ebony Goddess, we're gonna go with my girl K-Bear. I bought the K-Bear calendar at the beginning of this year. Great purchase, by the way. Next year when she sells hers, you should absolutely check it out. Big fan. And man, there have been so many bitches, but playing Guilty Gear and thinking about when I used to play fighting games, the one thing that would I don't know why it triggered this in me, but thinking about it was a pretty rampant problem at the old OFCs. The OFC 1 Mors was pretty infamous there. Mm. And my bitch calling is the people that do not get off the fucking sticks when they lose a match or a set. Like there's people waiting. I don't give a fuck that you got bodied. Just get the fuck off the sticks. You're trash. Just don't do it. Just don't be that guy. Just do not be the 1 more guy. Just get the fuck up. People are watching. They are paying attention. They know that you're being a bitch. Just get off the goddamn sticks. And another thing is don't be the Hanaki hands guy. Don't be the guy that sits down, loses 9 straight, wins 1 match, and then says, "Oh, I gotta go. My hands are sweaty," and they just get up and you deny the run back. Don't be that guy either.
Don't be
But
Will.
just, I'm not saying names. I'm absolutely not saying names, but you know who these people are. Don't be them. They're bitches. I don't know what made me think about that, but it really, when I was playing Strive and thinking about when I used to like playing games and stuff like that, it really triggered it in me. So you guys are bitches. Don't be the Hanaki hands guy, and don't be the guy that doesn't get off the fucking setup. You guys know who you are. You've seen them in every scene. Just don't be those guys. And you have the floor now, man. That's all. That's all I want to say on that.
Oh wait, I'm so sorry. Was your ET and Hot or Not K Bear?
No, the hot or not was the fast food
workers, right? Yeah. Okay, my bad, man. Ooh, I thought you. Okay. So man, I had a bitch calling, and then your bitch calling just blew my bitch calling out the water. That I forgot what it was, man.
It's not a contest, they can still be bitches. The degrees is not what we're measuring here.
But maybe we'll get back to it. But my hot or not was I was having trouble, but I'm just gonna we'll just say I just refreshed my Twitter, and the first one to come to mind, and hey, fuck it, dude, Frog Mom, shout out to Frog Mom. If you know, you know.
Shouts to Frog Mom's legs, dude.
I don't want to be, I don't think I can fix you, but I'm here. I'm here. If you need that, person if you need someone to finish that seafood platter for, one, I'll be always. I've gone through my own fucking, platter at the bowling alleys, and I'm more than down to share that platter with you. You know what I mean? But shouts to Frog Mom. And then my bitch calling, man, fuck, dude.
Disco Rico's your hot or not? That's a good one, Leo Meyer. I really considered doing that for mine also, but I got to give the shout outs where they're due. Next week though, tune in. You might be surprised.
Dude, I don't know who my you know what? I'm gonna say fucking okay. I don't know. I'm pretty sure when I say something already came up, but I'm gonna go a couple. We're gonna. It's been a while, so I'll just list the small bitch callings and maybe I'll turn into one big one. So far, Papa John's again, because I don't know if you're fucking with me or you're joking, but. The first time I ordered it, it's because I haven't had Papa John's. So fuck it. They gave me the pizza box with just one package of Parmesan cheese and one package of chili peppers. And I was like, whatever. The second time I ordered it, which was yesterday, because I had like $20 worth of Papa Dough money, they only give me one thing of Parmesan cheese and that's it. So that's one thing right there.
Big ups to the Papa Dough, man.
Damn, I feel like there's something better. Like someone has to. I feel like someone has to like message me on the chat and be like, "What about this guy?" I don't remember.
Yeah. There's always next week too, but just don't forget
about it. I just can't forget. I don't know, man.
Yeah, what about the visibly damp Papa John, dude? The reckoning happened, dude. It was COVID, man. He got us all.
You know what? I'm gonna call you a bitch, Kadar. Hopefully next week, Wednesday, you play in a free tournament and not amp yourself up and stream yourself playing Guilty Gear and then just have excuses over excuses and then not playing a free tournament. And then avoid and duck me and duck other people when you're playing. And then you talk like you're, irrelevant in our scene. I was joking. No, yeah, Kadar, you're a bitch though. I hope you really do play. What the fuck?
See you next week, man.
Yeah, play in the Glizzy tournament Wednesday. Play. And then, man, I really feel like I had a good one, dude. And then it just.
If you think of it, make sure you write it down for next week.
I have to.
Wow, why did you shoot it hard, dude? Let me unshoot you. Hold on.
Damn, I can't think. It was only 5 seconds, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I can't think of one, man. Like, fuck, dude. And I also do really appreciate you, Kadar, because where were you at, Kadar, when I beat the game?
Even I was there. I was watching.
I beat the game before Kadar gets here. That was my favorite. Oh man, that shit was funny, man. Yeah, I can't think of anything, man. That gets Papa John's, Frog Mom, and just. Yeah, man. And in the end, I just gotta say I appreciate you all. I really appreciate you all, man. That's all I gotta say, man. And
yeah, thanks for coming. I hope you guys had a good time. And I can't wait for next week's podcast. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this Marvel tournament. As somebody with zero investment into the Marvel scene, I'm looking forward to it.
And then before I leave, I'm gonna copy and paste this in the chat room. It's something that you said, Kadar, and I want everyone to hold Kadar accountable to this. Right there. Yeah, so I appreciate you all. We'll see you guys. I'll tell you when the next tournament is happening. I'll figure something out. Support your offline or your online locals. Basically support Glizzies, support everything, follow the Twitter, follow everything. And yeah, man. Vince, like always, I appreciate it.
It's good.
Next week we'll have Mike talk about his tournament, and yeah, man. That's it, brother. So I'll see you guys all later. Vince, like always, thank you. And yeah, we'll see you guys, man. I appreciate you. I can keep saying it, but that's it, man.
Yeah, thanks. And see you next time.
All right. I haven't done this in a while, so you guys can hear me. All right, peace out, guys. I'm gonna mute myself.